Yo, what is going down, y'all? Welcome in the most underrated podcast, broadcasting from Certified Tattoo Studios. The homie Dow Palantonio sitting across from me. JJ here at the end of the table. Dow, man, how are you doing? How was your weekend? Actually, I know how your weekend was. It was filled with Red Stag, Halloween parties. It was a good time.
You came through, my dude, man. I appreciate it, man. I needed my beer pong champion, assistant, badass teammate.
We talked on the last podcast, and I was not going to come to the Halloween party. Right. You let me know too late a notice. But unbeknownst to me, I had to wear a costume on Saturday. So Friday, my boss comes to me here at Certified. She's like, hey, everyone's dressing up on Saturday. Yeah. We had initially talked about it, and she was cool with me not dressing up, just doing my normal job, going around, hosting the Instagram story, doing the social media stuff like I do here for Certified. Instead, I found out she needs to have us dressing up. So I pull something together very last minute with the homie Joey. We end up being Maverick and Goose, get the Top Gun flight suits. If you follow me on the socials, you probably saw some of that there. A lot of fun. Tons of fun here at the shop. It was just a fun weekend overall. JJ was dressed up as a pirate. He was getting his Johnny Depp on.
I saw that. Was he the...
More like Captain Morgan.
Yeah, the Captain Morgan joint. I saw that, man. The fool's not even 21.
I know.
But promoting Captain Morgan, I'm okay with.
Yeah, that was quality. Yeah. So, yep, quality. JJ did the Captain Morgan thing there. We had a really good time, and then I was like, fuck it. I called you. I was like, Dal, I'm already in costume, dog. Like, I'll come by your Halloween party. We didn't do it last year, but we've done it the past, 2, 3, 4 years before. Yeah. So, and we've always done it. It did feel right. It would have felt weird not going and knowing you had the party. So I'm glad it all worked out for the better, man. Mia was able to throw on, my lady was able to just throw on some top flight kind of gear or whatever,
to kind of match your ensemble.
Yeah, she was Kelly, the whole Maverick and Kelly, and she wore the that kind of outfit. So yeah, it all came together, man. It was fun. It was a good time. We came through. You and I, comeback of the year on the beer pong table.
That's just it.
Against Kevin Sidney, just crushed it against Dallas's brother-in-law and his sister-in-law, basically. Right. So that was a fun time. Come back there, and then we did a little couple versus couple, me and my lady versus you and your lady. We went ahead and had you guys hold that L real quick.
Yeah, it was a good match, man. But at the end, it came down to those last cups, on your side and my side, and you guys are the better couple. We got
to give JJ the photo too to post up so people watching on YouTube can see. Dallas was
hey man, I put this costume together super last minute, came in the clutch, and I was like, you know what, man, if I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna go buy any just props or anything. I'm gonna fucking make my prop. So by God, 4:00 on Saturday, I'm getting off of work and I'm like, holy shit, how am I gonna put this together? I'm heading to Home Depot, I'm heading to Walmart to try to put this costume together last minute. Ended up working out. I think I pulled it off. I don't know, you'd have to maybe argue that a little bit, but I ended up choosing to be Wilson, the hidey-ho neighbor of Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Man. Oh, it was cracking me up, dude. It was cracking me up. He was walking around with this fence all night. He built this fence. He had this wooden fence that he was walking around with all night, and he had it half covering his face like Wilson from Home Improvement. Do you even know who that is? I see that you're looking with a little bit of confusion.
I haven't seen the movie, but I get the reference.
It's not a movie. It's a TV show that was syndicated forever.
Home Improvement?
Home Improvement. JJ.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
he just pushes the mic away from him. That's
the man crush of the 90s? No?
Did you not know what we were talking about?
Okay.
The man, I was born, I was literally born in the 90s.
This one was born in 98. I know, dude.
I was a fucking kid.
Was Home Improvement still on at that time? I think it was, yeah.
It was probably, I don't know if they were dropping new episodes, but it was probably syndicated still.
That's crazy.
I think it's still syndicated, Nick at Night or whatever.
But did you ever see Home Improvement? Are you familiar?
No.
The TV series.
Oh, I thought you were, when he brought up the whole Wilson thing and everything.
Were you thinking Castaway?
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. You're way off, JJ. But
this got worse for you, JJ. I just, all right, we're
trying to protect you from the roast. We're trying to, get you back.
There was a show back in the day. Do you know who Tim Allen is? You familiar with the gentleman named Tim Allen?
Oh, yeah, of course. He's the guy. I grew up watching all the Santa Claus movies, and he was Santa Claus every.
All right, that's fair.
So Tim Allen hosted a show, or he was starting a show called Home Improvement. It was similar to a lot of 90s sitcoms where it kind of morphed a little bit of real life into the show, kind of like Seinfeld or a lot of those 90s sitcoms.
Oh, I know.
So Home Improvement, it was him. He had the three boys.
His new
show or
wherever he has.
Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Last Man Standing enough to speak on it.
I can't speak to that, but it's really more about having kids in the 90s. Kind of, he had his own kind of Binford tool show,
Binford Tools.
But it's really dynamics about kind of a family, raising a family.
So like Married with Kids or
Married with Children?
Married with Kids.
Yeah, I mean, you could say they're all kind of the same. You've got Married with Children, you've got Family Matters, you've got The Fresh Prince. A lot of those kind of just really talked about, growing up in a certain part of town, Will Smith, Philly, then into, Hollywood. So a lot of that is just kind of this family dynamic, family miniseries, TV miniseries shows.
Yeah,
definitely
Pretty cool. But anyways, Wilson is the next door neighbor of Tim Allen in this show.
Heidi Ho there, neighbor.
Heidi Ho there, neighbor. And he's the philosophizer, as we might call it. But he's the philosopher that Tim would go to, to his next door neighbor and kind of ask for things like, hey, how would I handle this, or advice, or just trying to.
Well, sometimes, Tim would just get a lot of advice from him. Wilson was like Gandhi. Like he'd just be throwing out like all this different life advice. And
he's like
family advice. And
really well-traveled individual,
Right.
supposedly in his life before being this neighbor, and always had some advice about something.
Yep.
And kind of always helped him kind of come back to.
but never showed his face.
Correct.
So that was like part of the mystique. It
Yeah.
was always just his eyes above the fence. He was
Yeah.
always in his backyard talking to Tim.
Yeah.
Whenever Tim would talk to Wilson, or like there was a couple episodes where they invited him to something and he would be out in a social setting, but he'd be behind a person talking, or he'd be behind a microphone.
Yeah.
He'd be behind something that's blocking his face. So it was like a running joke for the whole 10, 12
series,
years,
yeah.
whatever the show was on, however many years it was on. His face was always blocked. So Dallas was that on Halloween. It's funny, there's a lot of people that probably know what Home Improvement is, but I guess it's a nice breakdown for the people that don't.
Yeah.
If you don't know Home Improvement, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Maybe you were born in 98. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
But,
true. But yeah, literally, it carried my homemade fence. So, I went hard with this. So I went and got a new flannel. I went and got a bucket hat. Went and built my own fence from Depot with actual wood. I wasn't
Did
trying
you
to
get some splinters from carrying around that fence?
Man, I do have a couple
I thought you were
splinters.
joking around until I
No.
looked at your hands. I was like, oh shit, this fool legit is getting some splinters.
Fool, I actually, before you got there, I was actually playing beer pong, holding fence,
No, you weren't.
dunking.
No, you weren't.
And then they finally said, all right, guy, put it down.
Were you
So I did.
losing?
No, it wasn't bad. I mean, obviously, having no fence versus offense in your hand, definitely impedes your ping pong abilities.
I was
your beer pong
working, and
abilities.
then we kind of showed up late.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed some of the early action that went on, or how you were doing on the table. All I know is I went out. I showed up. I went 2-0. I don't really know what else happened
You got
before
it.
that. If you guys were having a good time, if you were getting killed, I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Well, and immediately we actually got some GoPro footage as well. So hopefully we can share that with some of you guys.
Yeah,
here
I'm
as
gonna
well.
try.
We're
I'm
just
gonna try to put that together.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut it together. But yeah, man, that was good. But so that was Saturday night. So I had a really good weekend because obviously sports heavy, which we'll get into. But for me, Friday night, man, with a lady, went and saw a movie that I've been trying to see.
Saw you tweeted it out.
Yeah, since it had come out. But we were able to go see mid-90s. This movie is so sweet, man. That's probably because the 90s was kind of my peak of growing up. So
Both of us, we love the 90s.
totally,
dude.
man. So, what I would say about the 90s is, you have a lot of young kids trying, slacker era is what they call kind of the 90s. It's all these kids just trying to kind of hang out and see and trying to figure out their identities and things of that nature. And that's where this movie really does a great job kind of showing a lot of the 90s nostalgia. So, man, there was 3 of these T-shirts that these guys were wearing from back in the days. Jonah Hill did a really good job of using things and props from the 90s, so it was really, really important to him. These fools were wearing shirts that I actually had and wore during the 90s,
Really?
these skate shirts. They were smoking weed, they were drinking, trying to find themselves, identify with themselves, and skating. Dude, I felt like it was my life being taped. Like, I literally lived that same life. So for me, the nostalgia was dope. The movie was shot super, super well. And it was literally what I went through and exactly how I lived my life in the 90s. I was kind of that shy kid, just like this main character. I can't remember his name, but it literally is kind of a movie of his life and kind of growing up and coming through the 90s. But, he's this shy kid, that has a single parent. He has a brother. His brother's super mean to him, beats the hell out of him every day, just to prove a point. And this little kid, what he does is he goes into his brother's rooms and studies his music that his brother has, studies his clothing, just like nerds out.
Is this based on a true story? Or is it just a script that Jonah Hill wrote?
I think it's a script that Jonah Hill wrote. I can't remember any true story.
I heard him talking about it on Howard Stern. He was on Howard Stern. I would listen to the interview. And it didn't make mention of that, but it did make mention of, he said this was his baby. He worked on it forever. This is his first project he wrote and directed that really got pushed into theaters. And he worked on it, I think, for 4 years, just writing and developing it and coming, it's an indie film too. So it cost less than $10 million to make. For sure. They made it for under 10 mil. But they didn't have because they didn't have a huge budget. He said he had to reach out to, all the people he used for music. He had to reach out to all these different artists to get their clearances, and almost like on a, hey man, will you do me a favor type shit? Like I can't fucking pay you what you're normally getting. Trent Reznor wrote
Nails, some of the score.
He scored it, dude. He scored the entire film, and he worked with him on the film. Yeah. So I know you were kind of getting into. I don't want you to blow it too much because I still want to see the film. I know a lot of people out there probably want to see the film, so don't give it away too much. But from what I heard in the interview, man, it was incredible. Just how many people that he reached out to, and they were like, yeah, dude, I'll do it. Like, I'm a fan of yours. I'm a fan of what you do. I'm a fan of the art and the creative process. And everyone was kind of able to put money aside, which is really rare, especially in Hollywood and in today's day and age. And the big business that this has become, it's normally all about money. It's all about budgets. And for him to be able to go and keep it under the $10 million mark, keep it under budget, still get high quality music, have Trent Reznor score the whole thing. He basically did it for free, he said.
How fucking cool is that?
Dude.
Trent Reznor.
And not only that, but Jonah Hill said that he was like, man, I thought like it was kind of scary for me because I thought when I reached out to him initially, he was just going to give me something and say, here, take it or leave it.
Right.
And he didn't want that at all. He said, yo, I'm going to need you telling me what you want. I'm going to need you giving direction. I'm going to need you. And he really told me like what he needs. And it made me feel like a boss. It made me feel like this is why I'm in this position, because I am the director. And he's like, it made me realize that if I would have ever started to direct before this, if I would have taken a chance and tried to direct a movie before this time, I wouldn't have been ready. I wouldn't have been ready for all this. I wouldn't have been able to be a boss and been able to make those decisions. He's like, I basically was just doing my job. Like I would have been really shitty at my job before because I would have been intimidated. Right. But I was able to tell Trent, I'm not really feeling that. Hey, I'm looking more for this. Hey, can you do this? And he literally never came to the studio because they were out on tour. So we did this shit all over phone and email. He would like, I would send him the movie clip and the idea I had for it. He would put a score together. I would tell him, yeah, it's awesome. No, I need a little bit of this, or I want this to end here. And he's like, the fact that we were able to do all this, and he took so much time and he was so involved in the creative process, and he basically did the shit for free, is just something I'll be eternally grateful for, man. It made the film. And he said there's an unreleased 9 Inch Nails track in the movie, which, or an unplugged 9 Inch Nails track in the movie, which I'm not sure if it was unreleased or just it had never been used in film. I forgot exactly how he said, but he said that was huge for him because being a big 9 Inch Nails fan growing up, and it was just so much of him in the movie. He felt as passionate about, almost like you were talking about, like, even more. He felt so passionate about the project and just everything that it involved and everything that it was. And I hear it's getting just incredible rave reviews. I heard there's some controversy in it a little bit.
There is, yeah.
What's that about?
So I don't want to spoil too much, but some of the
there's like a young a sex scene.
Yeah, some of the things that the young star of the movie goes through, and I don't want to get too into that. Could be like, what the hell? Especially in today's age, where it's like the Me Too movements and standing up for people and young and these type of things. But I mean, back in the '90s, but these things did happen. They happened to me, and I don't want to get into that, because that's a whole new life for me. But some of these things that this young kid went through, like that's what made it so real to me, is the things that this little young kid was going through, and these identity things and coming into his own. Man, I lived that shit.
Did it remind you of Kids?
Absolutely. It's a modern day Kids.
That's exactly what I think.
I don't think it was as dark to me. Okay. And I haven't seen Kids in probably
been years.
I think 10, 12 years was the last time I watched that. I still listen to the soundtrack. Soundtrack is fucking rad.
For Kids?
Oh man, it's so good. But yeah, it's kind of a modern day version of Kids. But I feel like Kids was a little bit darker. There were dark aspects to this movie, but it was a pretty positive movie.
Okay.
I left feeling, and again, that was because it was so nostalgic, and it was like I was like my story, my
so
life
it's obviously
story.
Rated R then, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I
mean,
believe so.
There's probably a lot of language. There's probably
Yeah.
a lot of.
Well, one of the lead characters, his name is Fuck Shit.
Oh yeah, okay, there we
So
go.
yeah, I mean if that tells
Obviously.
anything, but yeah, it's a bunch of hoodlums skating together, just living life together, going through the daily, doing the loitering stuff, doing the stuff that we did in '90s, kind of looking for identities because again, that whole era, that's what we did, pre cell phones, pre all that bullshit,
Skateboarding, grunge.
having
Was there
to talk.
beepers or any of that shit? Did anyone have beepers in the movie?
No, I don't remember
None of
seeing
that?
any
So
beepers.
it's early '90s, huh?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any beepers, but just kind of loitering, hanging out in skate shops, skating together, just being bros, and going through what life endeavors. It
I'm
brings.
too behind, man. I need to still go see A Star Is Born, and I need to see that one.
Both great movies.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some time to be able to do that, dude. My time has just been. I didn't even get to put together a trailer for the last podcast. That's how crazy the time was because of Halloween weekend, because it was so crazy here at the shop and getting all that together. And we shot a really dope Cholo skit. Like we had these fools dressed up as Cholos here at the shop. Like, so we shot a little skit with the Cholos, and Ram was the cop, and I edited it all together and shot and kind of directed it, and it was a lot of fun. Hope to do more funny stuff like that, but it was just too much, dude. I was so busy. We got the podcast obviously uploaded from last week, but I just didn't I didn't even put it out on social media and we're still getting mad views and listens. So, it's cool that people are still supporting it. They don't wait for me to tweet it out. They kind of just got the notifications turned on YouTube or on iTunes or whatever, or they're just going and checking for it. So thank you to you guys, man, that are continually supporting the podcast. Like I said, I didn't even get to put out a trailer. So that's super cool. I really appreciate that. But yeah, overall, man, had a really, really fun weekend. You were getting stagged out, bro. This man was doing shots of Red Stag.
Yeah.
You must have been, there was one cup left on beer pong. We were battling at the end, and you said you were seeing 3 cups at one point.
I was seeing 3 cups, man. That one turned into 3 really easy for sure.
So yeah,
so
it was fun though, man. I had a really good time at the Halloween party. Your girl, the Rice Krispie treats.
Talk about those peanut butter Rice Krispie treats. Literally, so she made Rice Krispie treats, pretty traditional, right? And then put a layer of actual full Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
As a whole layer in there.
Yeah.
Dude, fire, right?
Right. Especially
I saw you eat 5 in a 2-minute
worst
scene.
mistake I made. I smoked some weed and then I was like, you smoke some weed and then you see those?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Overtown. You ever been to a little place called Overtown? That's where I went on Saturday. Overtown, bro. I was just chomping the shit out of. I was gonna ask you if you had any leftovers. I went to bed. I got home. I went to bed. I was like dreaming about those. I was like, Mia, we need those, babe. Get the recipe. We need to get. What are we doing here? Those are. Robin killed that.
Yeah, shout out to Robin for that.
Woo.
Hey, you know what, man? Robin was also pumped, man. This was her first time meeting your lady Mia.
Yep.
So yeah,
she was cool.
She was really pumped on that.
Yoga,
because I have told her.
Yoga.
Oh yeah, they're both doing the certification on the yoga joints and teacher training.
It was a lot of fun, man. Robin's. She's so nice.
Oh man, Robin loved Mia. She's like, holy shit. And she's like, hey, bud, hey, Dal. And I'm like, what's up? She's like, man, I'm really glad you franchised and Mia came through. And she's like, holy shit, Mia's a babe.
What do you think? What does she think? Does she expect less? She think I'm out here pulling not babes? What do you mean?
Hey,
of course
man.
my lady's a babe.
Hey,
bro.
I believe in you, man. But maybe Robin didn't. But she made sure to tell me that, hey, man, Mia.
Come on now.
She's in there like swimwear.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. No, so overall, man, the weekend was a good time. Dallas was red stagged out, which actually led to some bets. We need to get into those.
Oh, my God. Hey, the Mueller still hasn't paid me my shit either. We're texting last night, you know, and I'm like, hey, man, great job on your DK, blah, blah, blah. I thought you had it, yada, yada. And then we're texting. DK finally ends. Man falls off. Man doesn't exist anymore.
Should we go? Do you want to go into DK now, or should we wait and do that during football?
Let's wait. But that fool owes me some money. I just want to throw that out there right now.
We'll talk about it. Because side bets were made.
Made a bet at the holiday
Drunken
party.
Side bets were made at the Halloween party between Dallas and Mueller.
Yep.
And so we'll talk about those. We'll talk about the DraftKings winner, how that all shook out, how the fiasco shook out with 2 DraftKings leagues and everything. We'll kind of dive into that. But yeah, let's kind of where do we want to go from here? Let's do let's go MLB, and then we'll jump into some YouTube comments. So obviously Boston Red Sox wrapped it up last night, win the World Series out in LA, Chavez Ravine. So not only do they go and beat I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank here. Who the hell did they beat? Houston Astros. Sorry. They beat the Astros on the road. Then they beat, who did they beat the very first series? Damn it, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, they won all their series on the road, which is kind of rare. You know what I mean? They played California Love last night in the locker room. You saw them blasting the
they did.
the California Love. They played New York, New York. That's the Yankees. That's what they beat. Sorry,
Yep,
they played New York, New York in the Yankees locker room, blasting New York, New York. Just trolling them there.
Aaron Judge actually was walking out of Boston, out of Fenway, playing some sort with old blue eyes.
Yeah.
Yep. So okay.
Yeah, and so Boston, New York trolled them there. Played California Love last night, trolled them there. Champagne popping. Yeah. That looked like a party over there.
Fucking David Price trolling all the fucking all the people interviewing him. Yeah. He's like, now you don't have nothing over my head. Now fuck you. You know all this.
So and you could argue that everyone wants to talk about Kershaw's postseason performance, which has been awful. Kershaw. A good one. Where'd you see that one? Huffington Post?
No, probably on Vice.
All right.
I remember when I read the NY Post. No big deal. It's fine.
So then
Kershaw.
Yeah, so Kershaw.
Yeah.
He was Price was probably worse than him. Let's be real. I think Price was 0-9.
Historically speaking, yeah.
But now, I think that Price, he pitched 2 good games in that series. So I mean, now you got to kind of look at Kershaw and put him as the worst.
After game 4, Cora pulled Price aside and says, Game 5, you're in, you're starting, you're the dude. So Price actually had time to prepare for this, had a good meal. I kind of read something about that, but because Price wasn't slated to start yesterday.
Yeah.
That's your boy with the botched belly button ring.
Yeah.
Was supposed to start tomorrow. Chris Sale,
which he did come in and close it out.
He did, and he did a great job closing it out, especially against arguably the top 3 best hitters.
I think that was a great move by Cora, dude. You put Price in, you let him prove that he's there, you let him prove that he belongs, let him
he needed it, Boston needed it, MLB needed it, dog.
And the fact that you keep Sale healthy for the next game in case Price gives it up, you have a little bit of you're up 3-1. You got a 1-game cushion there. If shit goes terrible last night, you're going back to Fenway. So it's not really a huge deal no matter what happens with Price. So it wasn't like Price was back to the wall. Kershaw had way more of a back to the wall situation, obviously, because they lose, they're done. Yeah. Price didn't. He had a little bit of a safety net. Yeah. I'm not sure if that helped him or whatever, but that's just the reality of the situation.
Dude, what I would say is there is no better drama. There's no better reality TV than sports. Man, I love it.
The best, dude.
It is
unscripted.
So fucking awesome, man. For Price to rewrite his own history is fucking awesome. Cora to be able to do that, and Cora coming from a crazy Puerto Rico, where his family's still in dire straits, his friends. I mean, dude, there's just no better story.
I was reading a thing about Alex Cora. I was reading up an article about him and how he talked about when he signed with Boston. He told they were super pumped to be in talks with him, and they thought they had the deal wrapped up. They thought everything was good, and then he called back and he said, "Hey guys, I need one more thing." Yeah. And Boston thought, "Oh shit, he's gonna want more money. He's gonna want more years." I know exactly what you're alluding to. Yeah, all that stuff. And in the interview, it said that he was like, "Man, I need a plane. I need a plane with all kinds of stuff. I need a plane with all kinds of goods. I want to take it down to Puerto Rico and support my country after the hurricane." And I think they loaded up like 3 or 4 planes full of stuff for him and helped him out, which was fucking awesome of Boston, dude. The Red Sox organization, super classy.
To do that.
Hell no, dude. How cool of him to put in his, along with his contract negotiation, for him to say, "Hey guys, man, I'm gonna do this deal with you, but this is what I need," and to be able to give back to his people
so unselfishly, so powerfully.
You can't. I mean, unless if you're a Yankee fan or something, you just have this hardcore hate where you can't get over it. But I don't know how you don't look at that as like, damn, that's a classy move. That guy is just a great guy in general. So that's it for baseball, man. That's it for baseball season. It's the best team. Let's be real. They were the best team throughout the year.
League-wise, baseball-wise.
The best team all season. They had the strongest bullpen. They had the bats. Yep. They were the team to beat, and they proved why. Yep. I thought it was going to go longer. I thought we probably would get a 6 or 7 game series. I didn't think it would be over this quick. Yeah. I thought they would make it back to Fenway. I was very, very shocked that it ended in L.A. It was just one flight. You know what I mean? Yeah. They played 2 games there, flew to L.A., and it was done. They never flew back. So the whole East Coast, West Coast series really didn't even become a factor. There wasn't much travel. Right.
No equalizer on the travel grind. Yeah.
Not at all. And from there, where does Clayton Kershaw go? I mean, is he with the Dodgers next year? Do they look to get rid of him? I know his contract's huge, so I don't think anyone's going to trade for him.
Right.
But it's you look at the Dodgers, it's got to be disappointing. Back-to-back World Series losses. I mean, you're getting into Buffalo Bills territory here in the 90s, you know, when they lost 4 in a row, I think, to the Cowboys. So you got 2 in a row, 2 losses. Can the Dodgers make it back next year? Is Manny Machado going to be that? I know there's been a lot of talks about who's going to be a part of the Dodgers. It's still really early to say. I mean, we're less than 24 hours removed from the World Series being completed. So, but yeah, that wraps it up, man. I think the story of the World Series on the Red Sox side, obviously everything we've talked about, the best team, the best hitters, the best bullpen. But on the Dodgers side, I think it's going to be the mismanagement by Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
It's got to be the mismanagement of the bullpen, pulling pitchers when you didn't need to, putting, the other night, they put in Javi Baez for 10 pitches, and then you pull him out, and it's like he was lighting fools up, and he pitched 10 times. Why? If you're going to bring him in there, why not keep him in for the 8th and 9th? Why pull him out in the 8th after he pitches 10 times? And then it was stupid. I didn't like a lot of the decisions from Dave Roberts over the course of the World Series. I thought it was just a little bit too regular season for me. It was more like you can get away with managing like that in the regular season because you have so many games. You don't do that in the postseason, man. You got to ride hot hands. You got to play the trends. Don't go off what you think is going to happen. Go off what is happening. Yeah. That's my opinion, and I think that's what got the Dodgers smoked.
I agree with that. No, there was quite a few missed calls by their management specifically.
Just mismanagement all over.
I just didn't agree with them, you know, and look what happened.
Mismanagement all over the place. Let's jump into some YouTube. Oh, before we jump into YouTube comments, actually, I want to talk about Joe Buck. Dude, we were talking about Joe Buck a little bit the other night, and so I found it interesting. I was like, let me do some research, because Joe Buck, obviously, you know, Joe Buck is the lead analyst on Fox. Mm-hmm. He does he does football games with Troy Aikman. He does the Thursday night games. Now that Thursday nights are now Fox games this year. They got a contract for Thursday night football. So Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are the #1 broadcast team on Fox for football. Well, Joe Buck's also the go-to guy for Fox in the postseason. So he does the postseason, he does the World Series. So Joe said this is the absolute craziest he's ever been since he started at Fox in his 20-year career over there. So he did 15 broadcasts since October 11th. Let me run this down for you. He did Thursday Night Football on October 11th in the Eagles-Giants, New Jersey. Then on the 12th, the next night, he started the NL Championship Series, Dodgers-Brewers Game 1. Went from New Jersey to Wisconsin. Then the next day, Saturday, calls the game again in Wisconsin, Game 2, Brewers-Dodgers. Mm-hmm. Sunday, he was off, so he got a little bit of a break there. Then Monday, October 15th, NLCS, he flies out to L.A., goes from L.A., he goes from Milwaukee home to where he lives in St. Louis. So he took it, I'm assuming he was probably in St. Louis on Sunday. Goes to Milwaukee, does Game 3. Tuesday night, goes to LA, does Game 3. Tuesday night does Game 4 in LA. Wednesday night does Game 5 in LA. Thursday night, football, Arizona Cardinals, Denver Broncos. Thursday, he flies from LA to Arizona. Not too crazy of a flight, but he does Thursday night football for Fox as the NLCS is traveling back to Wisconsin on that Thursday. So it kind of just fell perfectly for him. Then you get Friday night. So he calls the Thursday Night Football. Broncos kill the Cardinals there. Then he goes Friday, October 19th, Game 6 of the Dodgers-Brewers in Wisconsin. Then he goes and does Game 7 Saturday night, the next night. As we know, the Dodgers did that. Mm-hmm. October 21st and 22nd, he gets the day off from Fox. So he's not doing any football or anything on Sunday, Monday there. Then Tuesday, the World Series kicks off. So he starts that on Tuesday, October 23rd. Already down a camera. It's going to be rough on the YouTube tip today. Some batteries weren't charged. Yeah. It's going to be footage might be a little rough today. But continuing, so the 23rd, he does Game 1 of the World Series in Boston. We know that kicked off there. Wednesday night in Boston again. Thursday night flies from Boston to Houston to do the Texans-Dolphins Thursday night game.
Oh, that's right.
That just happened. Yep. Then Friday, Game 3 of the World Series, flies from Houston back to LA, does game 3 of the World Series. And if you remember, that's the 18-inning, 7-hour and 20-minute contest between the Red Sox and Dodgers there. Joe Buck, I think that went until about 3:45 West Coast time, 3:45 a.m. So he's out in L.A. Then he does Game 4 Saturday night out in L.A. Then he does Game 5 last night in L.A. as well. So huge stretch for Joe Buck, dude. Mm-hmm. In that time span, like I said, he did 15 games going back and forth between football and baseball. he's scheduled right now to do the Thursday night football game this Thursday, November 1st, between Oakland and the Niners.
Is he?
Is going down this Thursday. And then he's also scheduled to do the Rams-Saints game on Sunday. So he at least gets a couple of days rest. I'm pretty sure Joe Buck is one person that was definitely happy the World Series came to an end on Sunday, so he can kind of get some rest before Thursday night's game and kind of get some proper prep. But, dude, that's a lot. That's a lot of traveling. That's a lot of prep he had to do, bouncing back and forth between sports.
Because they start prepping really early those mornings of the games, those evenings, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, they're starting to prep 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and going through kind of what they're going to do, what they're going to talk about, who's winning, who's forecasted, who's this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of work in itself, the prep, not only just announcing the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. So, we talked about that, and I kind of wanted to dig into it. I thought that was fascinating, man. I thought the whole rundown of where he was at, bouncing back and forth. And another thing about Joe Buck, did I ever tell you the story about his vocal cords? And his hair loss?
About the hair.
Dude. So Joe Buck has a book out. If you've not read it, I forgot what it's called, but great read. This man went in to get, this is a fascinating story. It was fascinating to me. He went in to get hair surgery, hair plugs, right? Because he started noticing he was going bald, and as a lead anchor on TV, I don't know. Some people just shave their head and want to go bald. Some people don't feel like that look suits them, whatever the case may be.
You want to look the part.
Right. So he goes in to get surgery on his hair. He goes to get hair plugs. Well, when they put him under, they have to put him under the anesthesiologist. They put the cord in his throat, the breathing tube. Well, he wakes up from the hair plug surgery. Guess what happens? He has no fucking voice, dude. As Joe Buck, the lead anchor on Fox, you make your living millions of dollars.
One of the most notable, recognizable voices.
Yeah, his dad, Jack Buck, was a legendary announcer for years. You have no voice. You wake up from hair surgery, bro, and you have no fucking voice. And this is how you make your money. How scary does that have to be? So one of the breathing tubes that was down his throat was resting on his vocal cord. And when he woke up, it kind of almost forced it to go to sleep. Have you ever woke up where you slept on your eye, like you kind of slept on your eye wrong or your arm wrong or your hand wrong, and you wake up and your eye is just super blurry and the vision is fucked up and it takes a little bit for it to come back, or your arm or your hand is asleep and it takes a little bit. It's the same kind of thing. The vocal cord was basically asleep because this had been resting on it. Doctors had no idea that was what was happening.
Yeah.
They didn't know. They're like, we have no idea what happened. It's a mystery. No one can figure it out. This man goes a week with no voice. Wow. Thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. He's going and seeing these specialists. He's going and doing all. Are we down all the cameras? Are we done? Oh, okay. We still got one. But he goes this whole situation he goes this whole week, or maybe it was a little more than a week, with no voice, and then slowly it starts to kind of come back, and they realize that was what happened. But how scary!
Well, yeah, especially when it takes a few minutes, maybe a half hour at most for arms and all your appendages to come back. But a vocal cord that long, a little scary, especially when that's your main notoriety. That is you. That is what you do. That is your breadwinner. That's crazy.
Insane, dude. Insane. So, but shout out to Joe Buck, man. I know a lot of people don't like Joe Buck for whatever reason. I think he does a great job.
I think
Joe
he
does a great job.
I got a problem with Phil Simms. Joe Buck, I'm cool with. Phil
Simms isn't doing games anymore. That's why they moved him to the studio.
Yeah.
They put... Romo kind of kicked him out.
Hey, Romo's doing a lot better, man.
His first year was Tony Romo.
Yeah.
You like Romo? I think Romo yells too much. Oh, did you see that, Jim? This is unnecessary. He's got to go. Oh, he's got around the outside. He took the screen pass. Like, it's not a play that even warrants yelling. He takes a screen pass for 2 yards, Tony.
He's just excited.
Excited. That's what kills me about Romo. He gets a little bit too excited. He starts yelling a little bit too much.
I'm excited to see Witten. He's not so great, and
I think the whole Monday Night Booth is a mess this year. Booger McFarlane in the mobile little thing that's going along the side of the field is weird.
Hey Booger, what do you think?
Dude, it would really piss me off if I paid a lot of money for tickets and that motherfucker parks his cart right in front.
No doubt.
I heard that's been an issue and people are complaining, and ESPN says, tough, deal with it. We're not changing Booger McFarland in his mobile Booger mobile.
It's Booger mobile.
Yeah, whatever they call it, the mobile cart.
Just Booger's grease.
Dude, I would be
in the
pissed
stands.
off. That's blocking the view.
Yeah.
And you paid good money for those tickets. Maybe he's sitting there only 2 minutes, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say he's not going to come back and the action's going to stop there and he's going to stop in front of me again?
And that's no small machine that allows him to be mobile like that. That's a big fun.
Well, here's the thing. It would be a small machine if it was just him, but they have this gigantic backdrop. Dude, it's like attached to it. It's like a big wall with ESPN logos behind him. So that way when they show him on TV, it blocks the crowd. Because when they show him, they don't want... He's literally back right up to the crowd.
Yeah.
You don't want to be showing people behind him in the front row, flipping off the camera. He's live, you know what I mean? They don't want to show him too much, you know, and have to try to keep cutting away from that live shot if people behind him are doing dumb shit. So they put up this big kind of little wall back behind him on that mobile cart. So now it blocks, I don't even know how many rows behind him. Like, how do you see? That's the worst, dude.
No doubt.
That is the worst of all time. I would be pushing that thing over if he parked in front of me. Booger, get the hell out of here. Jesus.
Yeah, totally.
Anyways, I don't even know how we got off on that tangent with Booger. But I think number one is Michaels and Collinsworth. Yeah. They do the best.
Guaranteed.
They're the number one broadcast team in football. And I would put Aikman and Buck behind them. That would be number two. That'd be my 1A, if you will. No, I think one, they probably stand alone by themselves, Collinsworth and Michaels. They're one. Yeah. Buck and Aikman are two, not 1A.
What about the NBA TNT crew?
I was strictly just talking NFL, but
gotcha. I love Ernie Johnson. Man.
They're not really play-by-play though.
Yeah,
they don't do play-by-play. They do a post-game show.
So
and
there's
a
no
pregame
comparison
show.
there. But Ernie Johnson
different.
used to do baseball though as well. What happened with that? Wasn't Ernie Johnson doing baseball?
I know his cancer.
The cancer fight.
I think his cancer's come back. Unfortunately, I don't know. We kind of touched on that. We talked about it a little bit the other day when you were just kicking at my crib. I haven't watched enough TNT pre or post game to see. Has Ernie Johnson been on? Have you seen him?
He has returned, as far as I'm aware of. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe he's more just in a limited capacity because of the cancer stuff. But I had heard his cancer came back, and he's still kind of fighting the good fight there. Speaking of cancer, Roman Reigns, WWE, I kind of tweeted that out.
Had
that
his
was
last
a shocking
match. Am I correct with that? Or had his last?
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah,
he's done. For now, I mean, he has leukemia, so he got diagnosed with that when he was 22.
Hodgkin's lymphoma?
No, it's just leukemia.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's no Hodgkin's, I don't think. It's just because there's Hodgkin's lymphoma and then there's Hodgkin's non-lymphoma. He's just leukemia. It's a totally separate type.
Gotcha.
That's what my mom had, actually. My mom's in remission. She had leukemia when I was a young kid. She's been in remission since then, knock on wood. Thank God.
For sure.
I know
Roman's the same way. He had it when he was younger, and then
he was diagnosed at 22.
Gotcha. And it's now come back.
Which was my mom. I think she was diagnosed mid-20s or so.
Gotcha.
But a similar situation, she had that and was able to get treatment and do everything she could to put it in remission. It's been good ever since. Like I said, knock on wood. We all know someone that's suffering from some type of cancer, man. Breast cancer, super, super aggressive, maybe not so aggressive, liver, all kinds, colon. There's so many different cancers out there. This is Cancer Awareness Month. I know the NFL, which I'm very excited. Excited is the wrong word. I'm very happy that the NFL chose to go the direction they did this year. It used to be October was Breast Cancer Awareness Month and everything was pink all over the field, which is great. Which is all great.
The outfits,
but it
and all
should
the
be
attire,
all cancers, dude. And now they've finally done that. It's become Crucial Catch Month in October for the NFL. It's no longer just breast cancer awareness because we need to make we need to shed light on all these cancers. And we need to be donating money to all these cancers. I mean, it kills me about how many things are so much breast cancer awareness. All this is breast cancer. You would think they would have a fucking cure by now with all this money that's been spent on breast cancer research. Johnson & Johnson has the pink products and they're supposedly donating a portion and this person's supposedly donating a portion. You buy something at Walgreens and a portion go. Everyone seems to be in on it, but where the hell is all the money? And if the money's there, where's the research? How have we not found something yet? You know what I mean? Every single year, every October, so much money is donated to breast cancer. And I just want to see the same amount to prostate cancer and the same amount to all these other cancers. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever else,
that are because they're all troublesome. Yeah. Not one is more important than the other. Yeah. And so I really like the pivot the NFL has made this year by making it crucial catch month. I didn't mean to go off on WWE Roman Reigns. I wanted to bring that up a couple of weeks ago, but we kind of forgot. They actually had an all-women's pay-per-view last night. They're kind of under some scrutiny. Have you seen the WWE stock has fallen about I have stock in WWE, so I know. Yeah. It's fallen probably, I think it was at 85, and now it's at like 65, bro. Really? We're down $20 within the past probably 2 weeks, dude. Huh. So here's the whole issue. WWE had an all-women's pay-per-view last night called Evolution. This is the very first time ever. It's all women. women are really being thrust into the spotlight in WB in the past year and a half, 2 years, because they've stepped their game up, dude. It's no longer like the go to the bathroom matches. Like these women are putting on incredible matches, dude.
Nice.
I haven't watched it yet, but I hear the match between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch last night at the pay-per-view was just legendary.
Really?
Everyone on Twitter is just saying it was incredible match.
That's tight.
They went all out. So these girls are having ladder matches. They're having Hell in a Cell matches. They're putting each other through tables. They're doing all the shit the men are doing. And it's no longer just like this cute little, it's a women's match. Like these women are going all out.
That's awesome.
And they've earned the right to have their own pay-per-view, which was last night, WWE Evolution. Like I said, I haven't been able to stream it yet because between the podcast and all the other shit I'm doing, I'm trying to, I can only consume so much content.
You got to sleep somewhere in there.
Exactly. But pay-per-view went on last night, but then WWE is also doing this thing called Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. This is a
I did hear something about this.
This is a pay-per-view that they took a lot of money for, like somewhere $40 million, something stupid. That the Saudi princes basically just paid them and said, "Hey, come perform for us." You know what I mean? Essentially. And there's a lot of backlash to WWE because of the fact that what just happened over there, the Saudi journalist that was killed, WWE saying that we're going to continue to go on with the show. Wow. We're not going to pull out. We're not going to stop the show. And then not only that, but they don't want any women to wrestle on the card over there. So as WWE's been super hardcore promoting women and equality and all this shit lately, now you have a pay-per-view over in Saudi Arabia and you can't have women on the show, and you're having an all-women's pay-per-view. And to make matters worse, I see on Twitter last night they had a promotion, a little commercial or whatever, a live read or whatever, built into the pay-per-view last night, the women's pay-per-view. They're showing a promotion for Crown Jewel where no women can perform. So then all the fans are just booing last night. Tons of boos, tons of people pissed off about it, which makes sense. I mean, why are you gonna promote a pay-per-view that no women can perform at a women's pay-per-view, at the first ever women's pay-per-view? I get that you're a business and you're trying to promote your next upcoming show, but wait the next night. You do Monday Night Raw every week.
Yeah.
Wait to promote it on Monday Night Raw. At this pay-per-view, let it be about the women. Let the women do their thing.
Yeah.
And leave that promotion out of it
Celebrate
because you know
the
it's
women,
not equal.
leave it out of that.
It doesn't celebrate equality.
Totally.
It's not equal. You know what I mean?
Man.
So they're in some backlash. The stock has fallen, which I'm not a huge fan of, obviously.
Now, but you mentioned the stock had fallen just here recently or within the last 2 weeks?
Within the last 2 weeks.
So
you're up at around $83, $85 a share, and now it's down to like $65 a share.
So what do you believe that to be? Because obviously this latest drama just happened within the last yesterday, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Them showing the thing at the pay-per-view and all that stuff happened.
Okay.
This has been going on. This was announced months ago. They were going to perform in Saudi Arabia.
Gotcha. So you allude this to one of the main reasons, the equality things, the separation of people, men, women, that kind of stuff, different origins, countries. Do you allude that to why the stock is
for sure? And
okay.
It's because the event was already announced. You know, they were going to perform in Saudi Arabia. They already did one of these earlier this year at this thing it was called the Greatest Royal Rumble. They did a huge pay-per-view over there. Okay. And it was literally, you could see, it was a bunch of sheiks and princes and people in the front row. They were almost sitting in like recliners. It was in like this huge arena over there that they have in the Middle East. I forgot what it was called, but it's like a huge, similar to the Australian cricket grounds where they just had, where I was telling you about the Undertaker Triple H a few months ago in Australia. They've been doing all these huge shows in different countries. So they've already done one of these over there. Everything was fine. Gotcha. Everything turned out fine. Everything was good. WWE got a ton of money for it. Well, apparently they've offered them a bunch more money to do it again. But this time WWE announced it. Everything was fine. But this time the backlash is because of the number one, the American journalist, or the Saudi journalist that was killed over there.
Right.
That had American ties or whatever the story. Not to get too political, but that's the number one reason people were like, yo, what the fuck? This is too far. You've got to stand up for the country and tell them that we're pulling out of the shit. Yeah. We're not coming over there.
Be a part of that.
You know? And then add on, they don't want women performing also.
Gotcha.
That's another. So it's kind of the two things going hand in hand. Now, no women performed at the other one either. So let's be clear on that. They didn't want women performing at the other one either, so they didn't perform there. but it didn't get as big of a backlash as this, I think, because of, again, the journalist, and also the fact that they promoted it at an all-women's pay-per-view. WWE put out this all-women's pay-per-view, and I don't know if this was an attempt to mask the Saudi situation and say, okay, well, they can't perform there, but we're going to give them their own pay-per-view. I don't think that was the case, but I don't know for sure. Gotcha. You know what I mean? It's a weird situation, dude. All I know...
It's obviously dividing people.
Oh,
long
it totally
story
is.
Short,
it totally is. And I need to... your boy, I mean, they're down another $2.46 today already.
Losing money.
It's early. It's early in the stock day. I need to... as this keeps dropping, I think I need to pull my money out of the WBE stock because it's not going good.
Got to start managing this,
Yeah, and I mean, when I initially got it, I got it early, dude. I got it at like...
pennies on a dollar?
Well, it was down to like 13 a share, the lowest I'd seen it. And I got it, it was on the rise, and I got it at about 24 a share. So I'm still killing it.
Yeah.
It's still at 60, it's at 67 something right now. So I'm still crushing it. I still need to, I should probably pull the money out of there sooner than later.
But privy to 2 weeks ago, look at what you were at.
No doubt.
It's just one of those things.
No doubt. But sorry, I got off on a little tangent there. Let's jump into the YouTube comments real quick.
Yeah.
Kind of go from there. Thanks for the timestamps. Laughing my ass off. Really? The mob is beautiful. Acquired taste, I guess. You're right, sir. Definitely acquired. I think that thing's a piece of shit. But I did see a person on Twitter after we talked about the frozen yellow laces. I was like, these should come with frozen. I saw a dude do a lace swap on there, and they look better.
Do they?
They look better. I'm telling you that he got them. I don't know if he got them off of his
OG pair?
Wave Runner, the OG pair, or if he got them from somewhere else. But he tweeted out a picture and he said the lace swap was essential, and I completely agree. If you're gonna have this shoe, you've got to put in another color lace. Other than that, the shoe just looks like a plum. It just looks too plain. It just looks like a chunky piece of leather. It looks like a chunky piece of shit. You've got to do something with the laces.
Yeah, I do. I don't like this shoe, man. And okay, here's the deal.
Acquired taste, he said.
Is it worth? So it's probably still not worth copying that shoe at $300 if I was able to get you those laces maybe from Lace Rope Supply or what is it?
No, I still wouldn't cop them.
Still wouldn't cop?
I think but for anyone that is copying, I think you need to do that. Yeah. And I think acquired taste is the wrong verbiage there, sir. I think it's more like you like it or you don't. It's not really acquired. I mean, acquired taste is kind of you try it a few times and get used to it. I don't want to try this shoe. I would never buy this shoe to try a few times. I don't like it. For $300.
$300 into a shoe that I might like eventually?
Right. Nah. Not going to do that. I disagree, man. I don't think it's an acquired taste. I think it's you like it or you don't like it, and I don't like it, so I move on. You know what I mean?
thought about buying them for JJ just so he wouldn't wear those fucking tricolors.
Yeah, JJ's looking tired today. Yeah. You're looking like you got a little Derek Carr going on in the eyes, a little eyeliner look to you, little homie from Green Day.
Did we need to talk? Yeah, almost Pete Davidson look a little
Billy,
bit.
What's that dude from Green Day? Billy
Joel.
Is it Joel?
That's his name.
Billy Joel.
I'm pretty sure.
I wanted to say that, but I felt like it was wrong. But Billy I think Joel. You're right.
Hey,
in my defense here,
should we have talked about your weekend? You may have had the most epic weekend, and we don't even know.
Billy Joe,
Billy Joe,
not Billy Joel. I was like, "Fuck, it sounds right," because I
knew he wasn't the piano man. Let's be real here.
But play us a song. You're the piano man, JJ.
We're just missing an L.
Play us a song tonight.
But do you want to talk about your weekend? Are you all right? You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I just I'm losing a lot of sleep left and right. Just
are you working too hard with us?
No, it's just. I'm just trying to balance a social life and a work life, and it's just hard to do that when your work life takes over most of your life and everything. Like Thomas here could definitely agree with that and everything.
Yeah. We're there.
So
what happens when you're trying to build a business, right? What happens when you're trying to come up? That's what happens, right? You've got to sacrifice things. Yeah. You've got to cut stuff out.
Exactly.
That's the hard part with me.
And sleep is usually the one thing that gets cut out if you want to try to bring in other things into your life and everything like that. So
JJ, you got a lot going on, man. For a 19-year-old individual.
I'm 20.
20 now.
Are you 20 now?
Just turned 20.
For a 20-year-old individual, man, working at one of the boutiques here for a while, Notorious, for helping us out, for doing your own thing, still trying to have your own life, working for Certified. Dude, hey, I value, man, what you're putting into, man, and keep your head up and keep working hard. And that's what it takes, though, to build your brand, to build your business, to build things and make
sacrifices.
Something. Man, if Thomas and I, man, would have been doing this at 20, holy
sky's
shit,
the limit,
I think
bro.
we'd be owning this world by now.
Right.
But what I would say is keep your head up, man. Keep working. I'm proud of you. This is the most real you've been. And it's good to hear, man.
That's an ode back to
definitely.
It's okay to feel that way.
what we've said before, man. If you want to do something, start today.
Yeah.
Start as soon as you can, because you're going to start and then you're going to be like, fuck, I should have started a year ago. I should have started 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm telling you this from experience. I'm telling you this because we've been there. And there's a lot of things I wish I would have done before.
And you're better off starting and like your first step falling face first
shit in the bed,
instead of like trying like years and years of training just to get ready for just like one step.
You've been around the world a time or two, JJ. Give him your advice too. I'm just playing. No. Let's stick with JJ real quick. No, in the comments here, no offense, but your boy JJ is not meant for the mic. LOL. Too young, and when he's up, I always close the podcast. Just a suggestion. You might want to keep it to just you and Dal. But then we have a reply to that. Here's my suggestion. Leave the kid alone. Ain't like you're paying for this shit. Pipe down. So a little bit of a reply. Someone's got your back there. But that's just what it is, man. You're a young kid. You've never really been on the mic. I just pushed you in on the mic. No, not everyone's going to sound like they've been doing this for years when they haven't been doing this for years. It just is what it is, man. We're all growing.
And yeah, I won't deny I've been like,
you're a straight rider.
I've been
they don't want to fuck with you
and everything.
You can't deny it. You're a straight rider. They don't want to fuck.
Hey, here's what I think. So what I would say, I'll respond to that comment. So, I think you and I, franchise, we have our own dynamic, right? You're kind of out there and have the historical knowledge and have all the backing, the facts and all this history. Hell, dude. Your face. I
just splashed some water on my face.
But you also have the experience, being behind a mic, hosting shows, sports talk, radio shows, that kind of stuff. There's no doubt that, man, you've got a lot of talent and you bring a lot to this. And I kind of bring that neutrality, bring you back down, talk you back down, having that kind of more neutral perspective. I think it works. But JJ also brings a dynamic, whether you like it, whether you shit on it, whether you hate it. Again, this is for free. I do like that person who had your back in the response to that, but you do add a different dynamic. You're totally different than obviously franchise. You're totally different than I. Maybe you don't speak as well. Maybe you don't have all the historical and all the news, and maybe we can argue with you, and maybe you don't have it, but you do add a dynamic, and whether people like that or not is irrelevant in my opinion. You add a dynamic that is different than franchise and I.
Right.
And I think that's the overall, that's my argument.
You get both sides.
You get a perspective.
There's people that are going to hate him.
Yeah.
There's people that are not going to hate him. And then there's people that are going to love him. Sorry to cut you off. Get a perspective.
Well, don't get it twisted. When you first had him on the mic, I called you or I texted you, whatever we did, or we hung out, and I said, dude, what are we doing with JJ?
Yeah,
we're
peeling back the curtain here. We're kind of going. We're letting you guys behind the scenes.
Yeah,
this is
kind of weird to me. Yeah, because we didn't talk about any of this. But first episode or two, I was like, dude, what do we have him on the mic for? What are we doing? But I think you see something in there, and it all stems around dynamics. What you get, versus what you don't get, and somewhere in between there's something that you like, or a couple somethings that you like. And my job here is to just do my best, and then have the podcast back. And if you see something, because of the history that you've had, I'm gonna be in.
Well, I'm a pusher, and JJ knows I'm a pusher. Right. I work with this guy every day here at Certified. He just shoots the photos from here. He edits shit, and I'm constantly telling him it's not good enough. I'm constantly telling him, hey man, we got to step it up. I'm constantly telling him, it needs a little more sauce, dog. It's not spiced up yet. And I do the same thing with the podcast. So I think I'm a pusher. I'm constantly pushing people to get better because I know people can get better. I push myself to get better like that. So as much as I roast JJ or roast you or we roast each other or I'm picking on him or whatever, it's always to get better. It's to make it better. I wouldn't be saying these things if I didn't feel that way. I don't come on here and just rip people to rip them. I don't come on here and just open up the mic and just talk shit to talk shit. It's valid. It's for reasons. It's for reasons that I feel. It's my opinions. It's what I think needs to improve. Just like the last podcast, I was kind of roasting fools a little bit, but I was like, man, we got to step it up. We got to get better. Totally. What happens today? I come in here, batteries aren't fully charged in the podcast. Who's fucking heated? I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? JJ, let me know. If you can't fucking charge the batteries, let me know. I'll fucking take over the charging. You know what I mean? Like, We're always constantly trying to get better here, and that's all I'm trying to do. It's never personal. It's always about improvement. Improvement of the podcast and the product that we're trying to put out. And I would venture to say that you've improved in the past 2 months you've worked here as Certified. You've improved your editing, you've improved your Photoshop skills, you've improved a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't have pushed yourself. You'd have been like, yeah, it's good, it's cool enough, right? Do you think that's true?
Yeah, without a doubt. Like
always, we do that. I look at you and then
excuses. There's like no room for excuses.
Exactly.
And it's like you have to make something of it. Like
yep. Yep.
There's no wall to like be stopped by, essentially.
Right. And that's how it should be. Why would I have you in here just making excuses? Why would I have Dal in here? You know what I mean? Like, why would I be sitting here? We get up early to put this podcast together. We just talked about the other day. We're not getting much sleep because of the fact that we're trying to work our regular jobs. We're trying to do enough research, consume all the content we consume, plus do the pod. It's a lot.
And the shoe reviews?
It's a lot.
Still trying to get those out? Yeah.
That'll be hopefully up today.
Totally.
But
what else you got?
It's a lot, man.
Comments-wise.
Passing on the 1.6 billion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even want to win that much money. Money isn't everything, in my opinion.
I agree.
Where do you guys sports wager, locally or online? Taylor, what are you doing here, bro? You trying to get us caught? Trying to get us caught by the feds? What are you doing? You want me to just be giving out my stuff? Here's my advice. Get you a bookie. I've had a bookie since I was 5, okay? Maybe not 5, but probably 10. A little family friend. I'm Italian. It is what it is. You got to get, I had a bookie. That's how you do it.
But at 5, your uncle was probably telling you, hey, Zach, who do you think I should go with?
Get yourself a bookie. Like? Keep it off the grid.
Who do you like?
That's what you do.
Yeah. Or you move to a state that has legalized sports gambling.
Right. Yeah. And it will be legal nationwide soon. I mean, I no doubts in my mind about that. It just takes longer for certain states to get it in place. We do have gambling here in Colorado at this place called Black Hawk or Central City.
Yep.
And Black Hawk is up in the mountains. Yep. So it's about 45-minute drive from where we are here. Dallas and I go up there quite a bit. We play some roulette. We play some craps.
Be there this Thursday?
That's right. You're going to be there Thursday after the podcast.
Bet.
I am not. I got too much to do. But I imagine sports gambling will be legal there by the end of 2019. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Up there in Black Hawk, it just takes a little bit of time to get things rolling.
Sure.
Always watching. Keep it up, boys, with a couple pound signs. Appreciate it, Ro. Love the sunglass. Oh, sorry. Lose the sunglasses so we can see your facial reactions. What do you mean? Am I wearing a mask? What do you mean you can't see my facial? Anyways, I got to move on from that. No offense, but I mean, what do you...
I missed the glasses today. You should put them on. You got them?
Oh, JJ needs the glasses.
JJ,
Jeez,
for
looking
sure.
tired. This is the most tired looking I've seen you in a minute. You're looking like
it's rough. It's
you got luggage under the eyes, not even bags, full on luggage. Yeah. You got it looks like eyeliner going on.
Okay.
Your eyebrows are all messed
in my
up.
defense, I had to wear eyeliner because I was Captain Morgan and everything.
That's right.
And I could not fucking get it off.
Okay, so he is wearing a little bit of he does have a little bit of Billy Joe going on.
Nice.
On holiday.
Yeah.
Anyways,
hey, you're no American idiot in my opinion, man.
Nice. Let's see. Dallas, JJ called you out last week, so you're on the Dr. Pepper kick now instead of Monster.
Yeah.
LOL. What do you have today? I don't see anything today.
I got no kick today, man.
Nothing.
I actually had 1 glass of water, which is probably more water than I've had in 4 days.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So, all right.
You need it after all that stag, dude?
Dude, I had to, man.
How were you feeling yesterday morning, bro?
Man, pretty. You know what? CBD, and we can get into that eventually. Let's give a little bit of preemptive news here. We may have an affiliate program coming up, guys. So listeners out there, I actually used a lot of CBD this weekend for recovery.
Like smoked it, or did oils, rubbed lotion?
So I've got it both. So I can vape CBD. So I do have a vape tool, obviously, to get that.
Vape, okay.
So I'll be vaping, but I also have the topical rub-on, and then I also have the isolate, which is the powder that you can put under the tongue. But no THC in there, so just another different form of way of healing versus using pharmaceuticals, over-the-counter medications. More holistic way of doing it, I think, and that kind of saved my ass yesterday. So
good shit.
Yeah, shout out to CBD.
Continue with the comments. I'm not taking the money for 10 years, but I'm also 19. Another question one of my professors asked was, if you won as a college kid, would you still finish your degree? I think a lot of people would. And a lot of people said that they would in my class too. What would you do? Would you finish your degree in college?
It's hard to say because I technically haven't finished my degree yet.
Yeah, but you have a job and you have things you have to
sure.
do. I would definitely finish my degrry. If I was in college and I won that money, that makes it 10 times easier. All I got to do is wake up and go to class and do homework. I don't have to work a job.
Yeah.
I worked a job through college. It was a fucking bitch, dude.
Well, and college was a very, very fun time, too. So for most people, I think,
That's the
where
problem.
you get to kind of be you, do your own thing, and not have your shit together. But if you have money to fall back onto and can still just...
It's a different experience for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people in college that's parents pay for college. I know I had a lot of friends that as long as they're getting good grades, their parents pay for it, which is cool. I'm not hating on you. You guys just came from a better situation than I did. You know what I mean? I didn't have that opportunity, but...
Totally.
It was like, oh, you want to go to college? Cool, pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go to college? Cool, pay for it and work a job while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. FIO,
same
dog.
with me.
My parents' motto for my whole life, FIO, figure it out. You don't know how to do it? Figure it out, bro. My dad would show me stuff one time. That was it. You got once. If you didn't pay enough attention to get it the second time, whether I was working with him, he owns a heating and air conditioning company, so I was working in that heating and air conditioning trade as a young kid, or it was completely something else, around the house, painting something, doing a chore that he asked me to do, whatever. He would show me one time if I didn't know how to do it. After that, it was FIO, dude. Figure it out. And if you fucked it up, it was your ass on the line. You're probably not getting paid for the job because you fucked it up, and you're probably going to have to pay for what you fucked up in materials. So you probably lost money there. Not only are you working for free that day, you're paying to work. You know what I mean?
That's the story.
So you learn to not fuck up. That's kind of how I grew up, dude. It is what it is. Not to say that I'm better than anyone else, or I just was working hard. It was in the DNA.
Right.
It just was what it was. Nothing was going to come easy. You were going to work hard for it, and you were going to pay for it. It's just how it went down. So I would definitely finish the degree because I would have made my life 10 times easier, 100 times easier.
Yeah.
Cop the white and navy 1.0 multicolors under retail off StockX.
Yep.
Those are the ones we talked about last podcast.
I did see that. Yeah, I should have them. They should be delivered today, so I'll have those to bring in. But yeah, man.
Timestamps are key. Hate sports, but love listening. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thanks, JJ. Timestamps.
That's, let's see, the Mega Millions, referring back to that again, that's an easy pass. That being said, if you were to donate that money for great causes, I guess it would be justified, which you talked about you'd be doing. A guy in my hometown won the $1.6 billion. That's $800 million after tax, and he's 24. Crazy. What would y'all do with the kind of cash at 24? I think, like I said, we hit on it, man. We kind of talked about it. I would donate quite a bit of it. I would continue to do the things I love. I would still continue to create content. Obviously, I wouldn't have to work a regular job, so content would be a lot more fun. I'd be able to be more creative with it. Plus, you have money.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard about I don't know if you heard about the rapper that died. John James McKay.
I did, yeah. Walking out on a plane of an airplane.
I'd probably be doing some stupid shit like that. I'd probably be doing stunts. I'd probably be doing dumb shit to be able to create content because I can, because I have money. And it's nothing for me to go up in a plane and walk out on the wing other than my life.
And I'd love to just pay for other people to be able to create content or to be able to have their own jobs. The American dream is always to run your own company, to be your own boss.
Yep.
And for me to be able to give that money to people to allow them to do that, man, I can't think of anything sweeter.
So yeah, that kind of that's about it. Wraps up the YouTube comments, man. If you want to be involved in the show, leave your comments below. We get to those from time to time. I try to get to them each podcast so we can read a little bit of those, maybe react. So leave your comments below in the on the YouTube channel if you want to be a part of the podcast. If you have something that you want answered on here. Yeah. Also, man, taking your questions. Taking your questions. Most underrated podcast at gmail.com. Questions for Teddy. You got questions for Ted when he comes in here, man. When we have him on the show. I want to make sure we get some questions answered for you guys. So make sure you're sending those in. Most underrated podcast at gmail.com. Let's move into sneakers and fashion, man. Sneakers and streetwear. Let's hit on that for a little bit. We're about an hour in, so we got a little bit of time to talk about that before we jump into the NFL and football and heaters and DraftKings and all that stuff. Going a little bit sports heavy to end the podcast there.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's start it off with kind of what you're wearing today, man. I see you with the Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Zebras on today. So,
you already know, bro. The best pair. This is the best pair, man.
Shout out to the Zebras. I, in my opinion, too, that versus the Yebra, those are my two favorite pairs. Yeah, the definitely. Frozen yellows. Those are my two favorite pairs. Now, this will be the third stocking of this shoe. I can't call it a restock because you've done one stock. You've done the restock. This is the second restock. November
I like 9th. Where you went there. I'll take a pair in my stocking.
I'll see. Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha.
JJ, better hit my stocking up, man. So the third stocking of this Zebra is November 9th. So if you missed the first time, which I think everybody did, unless you wanted to pay anywhere from $1,200 to $1,700 in resale, that second drop, which is what you got correct from our boys at Finish Line at Cherry Creek on the raffle action, which is one of your big raffle winnings, I would say, to this point. Should be pretty easy to get. I haven't heard stock levels on this, but if we're looking at Yeezy's the past, 3 releases, stock has been higher than it ever has been, from the creams to the to these new Mauve 700s. Fuck, the Mauves are still sitting, dog. They're still sitting on Yeezy supply. I did get a tweet today, this morning, maybe 9 o'clock our time, that they finally did sell out on Adidas US, but they went for the whole weekend.
Wow.
They went through the whole weekend. We still got Yeezy supply, and I know Yeezy supply hasn't sold out probably. I would say Adidas US, because more buyers are knowingly so, or in their heads, they know that Adidas is going to ship them out faster, right? Yeezy supply has been notorious for taking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month to not even ship. So, I mean, I think that's people, but you're already getting shipping notifications from Yeezy supply as well. But these joints are sitting, and if we know anything about it, I'm sure stock numbers will be pretty high on these Zebras. I'm sure probably one of the easier ones to get now, come the third stock of it. There's no resale on them after this stock, so that's kind of my view on that. What do you think?
Exactly what I said before. I'm not surprised. I think the shoe is shit. I think the price point at $300 is shit.
Oh, the Mavs, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just.
Well, no. What do you think about the Zebras? This next
Zebras
stock
restocking?
Level. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't think there'll be any resale on it. I don't think it's going to be that hard of a pair to get.
No, there's still going to be resale. There's still going to be resale.
There's not much on these Mavs.
220. I know. But
$340 right now.
I know, but the Mavs, dude. These are we just talked about it.
These are the plum, dirty, gross joints.
Right.
They're also $300, like you guys keep saying.
Yeah.
So.
And these are 220. The Zebras are 220. Mm-hmm. Zebras are also, we just said, maybe the best V2 to ever release, dude.
Arguably.
Yeah, exactly. Arguably. It's in the conversation. You can have the argument. Now, whether, you don't think so or you think so, whatever. You got to admit they're there. Yeah. They're in the convo.
Absolutely.
With the frozen yellows, with...
I would say the bread toes and maybe the red stripe.
I love the OG Beluga.
Yeah.
The OG Beluga's fucking flames, dude. I just wore those the other day. You saw, man.
Yeah,
those
this
are
weekend. Yep.
Super flames, man. So, but this is in the conversation of the best. It's still going to have resale. I think it's still going to be over $300. What is it right now? You're looking at probably $450 on those still?
I think they're right around 4 in 10.5.
Yeah, and the little kid size is 4. Okay, and the big kid sizes, my shit, mine and Teddy's shit, fucking high as hell.
Yeah, because what do you guys wear? Because you can't get 12.5s really,
13?
so you used to go 13s.
Yep, and Ted wears a 13, but he takes the insole out.
Yeah.
These are a 12 on my feet right now, true to size 12, same thing, take the insole out.
Dog, I can, on StockX, I can buy a brand new dead stock Yeezy Zebra 320, 10.5.
No shit.
320, 10.5. So
you might be right, man.
I don't think there's going to be much resale. Now, also...
See, a 13's pushing 3, it's 384. You know what I mean? So it's almost pushing 400.
Yeah, and that's what that would have been my first guess, but
Maybe you're right. Maybe I take that back. I didn't know they had dropped that far, man. I'm
obviously the hype is done. The hype has really, really died down. I think the hype is done for the most part until new silhouettes come out. I know those new 3M ones, not the Sesames, but the 3Ms that they've talked about a little bit.
With the clear stripe?
I don't even know what those are called.
It
starts with an S maybe, but
clear stripes.
Yeah, the clear stripes.
Oh, yeah, like the static color or whatever.
Yeah, there you
static.
go. I knew it started with an S. Yep. Yeah, the static joints may bring something back, but it's still a V2 silhouette.
But do you think the hype will return when the V3 comes out?
I don't know. Maybe. Depends on... I mean, they're saying early 2019.
Rumor?
Yeah,
actually, in July, it was saying...
July of 2019. Yeah. I've just seen 2019.
Are they going to go head-to-head with the infrared 6s dropping in February? Black Jordan infrared 6s that
Nike
just dropped in 2014 and then dropped in a pack before that. What are they doing? Do you feel like it's been not enough time there?
I do. Yeah.
Will
I buy it? Yes, because I slept on the last two.
Well, you know what? The difference, they're also doing Nike Air branding.
Yeah.
So on those. So it's going to be similar to the maroon 6s that dropped in 2015. Remember those? The ones I used to have? I sold them because they're just...
I sold them too because
they get too dirty.
One, they're not comfortable. The 6 is still the fucking most uncomfortable shoe ever. But that cream white that they did, oh man, you just beat those. The first time you walk in them, they're fucked.
The reason I'm going to cop those infrared 6s is because I have the Lego. I have a Lego... infrared 6, dude.
Oh, yeah?
And I want to cop that just to put next to it. I'm never going to wear them.
Nice.
But I'm just going to make a display out of it.
They're too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe Nike changes their
Plus,
insole.
I look like shit in 6s, dude. 6 is a shoe where I love the way it looks in hand. But once I put it on my feet and I look in the mirror, I look terrible.
What about shorts? It looks decent with shorts. A little harder to pull off with certain jeans.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I can't make them look good. I struggle. I really struggle with 6s and 7s.
Gotcha.
To make them look good. And like you said, 6s are probably, they feel like you're wearing cardboard.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most uncomfortable. But I'm curious to see, you know how Jordan Brand's revamping the comfort?
They're kind of changing those insoles, which we've talked about in some of our
A lot of the 11s lately, it's been really noticeable.
A little thicker.
Jordan 1s too,
arch.
I guess. A couple of Jordan 1s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
So aside from that, so that's the next sneaker to kind of the next big sneaker to, I guess, restock.
That's on the 9th?
That is the 9th.
And then the
9th.
Sesame's the 19th?
Nope, the Sesame's are 11/23.
Oh, 23rd. Okay.
Yeah, so the 23rd on those, and I think people are really looking forward
Was
to
that
that
the
color.
week before Black Friday? Or is that Black Friday?
No, that is Black Friday.
Their 23rd is Black Friday. Okay.
23rd is Black Friday. So you've got the Sesame's on Black Friday, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to that because of the peanut butter gum sole on that. The outsole is good, and I think that sesame color is super easy to wear.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not going to get as fucked as the cream. So I think there's quite a few people looking to
Not interested at
wear
all
that
in those.
neutral. You're not?
No. That's one I'll be a hard pass on. I think those are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't need neutral, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know my style. Everyone's style is different. I don't like neutral. You love neutral. You love grays.
Yeah.
You love.
Oh, yeah.
You're the most neutral guy on YouTube. For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Like you love the neutral and the gray. I don't like that stuff. I don't like just blending in with some shit.
You need loud.
I need
proud,
froyo,
vibrant.
bro. I need the frozen yellow. I need that kind of shit.
Yeah. Well, and I like those too. Don't get it. Don't get it.
I just
twisted.
don't get hyped over a sesame.
I think I just work too
Colorway.
much, and I guess I'm really conscientious
What can
of
I wear
my
to work?
work shoes,
Right.
you know.
And I can wear anything to work. Yeah. I can see
Must
that.
be fire.
I
Must
can
be
see
fire
that.
to live that. But
It is.
then they have the 500 silhouette. So again, the rhinoceros foot
I'm off on
shoe.
those, yep.
You've got the salt colorway coming out the 30th. So you know, those are kind of some of the big, at least Adidas/Yeezy releases next month. So I don't want to get into too much, but those are kind of some of the big ones. But the restock that's coming up here real soon, I wanted to cover that. We kind of talked about the Union LA collab. That has a hard date, November 17th.
I don't like either of those pairs.
You not?
Well, you know, one of them's royal blue, which I hate.
Yeah.
And then it's got a little red upper, or a little red up on the top of the heel cup.
It almost looks like the Game Royal colorway. Now, I think the materials and stuff are going to be so much better on this.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. But it's like
it's a collab.
It's like a Game Royal bread colorway.
Terrible to me.
Mix match.
Terrible.
So, I don't know.
Can't fuck with
17th on
too
that.
bad.
Show me the other one real quick. Do you have the other one?
The other
Pulled
one
up.
is...
Let me just double check and see if I'm out.
This colorway.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure. I don't like the white toe box.
So the
Remember
other
I told
one-
you I'm starting
yeah.
to stay away from white toe boxes on Jordans.
Yeah, so the other one kind of looks like, the black toe, or what was that? Not the black
Bread
toe,
toe.
but the...
Bread toe.
Is it, yeah, I guess
Bread
the bread
toe,
toe.
but that has a white toe. It's not bread. It's almost like a Chicago one.
Yeah.
It's a Chicago one with white or gray, or what is that?
Yeah, a little bit of gray on top.
On
has
the
a little
top
bit
of the
yellow
heel cup.
hits, cream laces.
It's
The bottom
sorta
part
like,
of the heel cup's red, but the top is white and gray.
Yeah.
It's like they try to be off-white, but just didn't go that far with it.
Kind of off-white concept based, maybe a little bit, just because you got the mismatch. You know, you have the stitching that you can see, the exposed stitching on the top. So I guess
can't say I'm
kind of-
100% out on that pair. I might fuck with that pair.
But
like I said, I'm really trying to stay away from those white toe boxes.
And
but
I
might.
believe so. What the crazy thing was, it was rumored to only be a Complex Con exclusive.
Yeah.
But then this came out, I think, 2 days ago, where they were going to have a full release on the 17th.
We hear that quite a bit when
Yeah.
Complex Con comes around. Like, oh, everything's
Yeah.
gonna be con.
This
and then
exclusive,
it never ends
this
up being.
exclusive, yeah, and then
Can
they
you
always
think
come
of
out
anything
later.
that was Complex Con exclusive that never?
I think the
That
nerd
never,
Pharrells, the
dropped?
black ones.
Those nerds?
Yeah, the nerds they had an EQT, that 9317. They had a silhouette that was a Complex Con exclusive that they didn't release on Adidas. There's been a few.
Okay.
There's been a few.
All right.
But
Maybe I'm just being negative. I just feel like that's what happens. Complex Con exclusive, guys, and then
Yeah.
fucking releases a month later.
yeah, and then everybody,
All right, it's
everybody
for
gets sad.
everyone.
Yeah, the resale fucking hits the wall.
Well, it's nice because not everyone can go to Complex Con, so
Right.
it's like
But also at the same time, if you put if you
I
took the
get
time
like the
and paid the money
reseller.
to get your travel
I get that whole
arrangements,
reseller thing too, but like
That's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
I mean, everyone's gonna
The
resell
hype
them.
is just dying on so much shit.
Which I mean, I would too. If I cop those nerds, what are those going for?
$6,000,
Right. What are you
now
gonna-
they're not. I think they're probably
Or-
going.
Oh fuck, no, they're like
That's-
around like 2.
they were
or
probably
1.
going for that. I think they were going
The
upwards of 10 grand when they
Chanels-
first came out.
The Chanels are going for $6,000.
Yeah,
What are those nerds worth? $2,000?
I would say even less.
No,
Less
I think
than
they're a
2 Gs?
grand. I think they're a grand.
Oh,
at
that's
least.
well. That's what I said.
Yeah.
$2,000. So a
And
grand
I
would
said
be less. It's all right, JJ. I remember my first math session.
So in a 10.5, they're going for 3Gs, size 10, 2900.
fucking told you.
12, dog. Man,
I told you.
You're 3400.
JJ was right. Look at that. He got you.
All right, JJ.
Doesn't know how to do math, but he knows his sneaker prices.
Hey, you're lucky, man, because I got one more thing to cover on streetwear, and then I'm going to let you get into it, JJ.
Okay,
Yes.
but you're actually sort of right, though, because the new nerd BBCs are literally, your 10.5 is 1,100, and then 11 is 900.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so these are the green Pharrells with the nerd writing in yellow embroidered on the top. Those are the ones you're speaking of? The yellow outsole, trail sole.
Yeah, I don't know the size of this.
Yeah, 1,100.
But like the last sale apparently was $855.
Hey, yo, do you think these run true to size? Or they run half size? You got to go half size up. That prime knit doesn't look like Holy Pack prime knit. It looks like the prime knit that's on the pack that I have.
Yeah, I would go true to size.
Motherland pack or whatever.
If I were you, I would go with...
Wait, no. Here's the thing. I don't go true to size. On my other ones, I needed 12.5.
You need a half up?
So would I go 12.5 on these? The reason I'm asking is because 12.5 is only $970. Piquing my interest here.
I'd go that size.
I'm kind of excited about that.
I'd rock those. Don't you have GOAT credit? Let's spend some of that.
Let's spend
some of that.
Will.
All right, so while you're looking at that, the only other thing I have, and then I know JJ has a little bit of hype news, but the only other thing I had was the Uniqlo Cause, the second kind of form, the second coming of this collab is coming on the 19th. And, you actually have some pretty good stuff in here. They're still doing the Sesame Street Uniqlo Cause, so a try collab on this.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I like on this is they're doing a crew neck hoodie. Or is it just called a crew neck? Because it's not a hoodie because it doesn't have a hood.
Crew neck sweatshirt.
Crew neck sweatshirt. They're doing the Cause X's on it. They've got 2 X's on it. This collab, they're actually bringing not the action figures, but the actual, what do you call those, plush toys? The bird, the Ernie.
They're like stuffed animals.
Yeah, so they're bringing the stuffed animals, and I have heard they're doing some of the stuffed animals actually have the Cause X's over their eyes, which might be kind of fire.
That's tight.
You know.
Sort of like the statues they've released in the past.
Yeah.
Did you have that Cause shirt, the Sesame Street joint?
No, yeah, I have a couple of them. JJ has his on right now, but I've got a couple of those. The reason is there's a little bit of hype to it. Not a big Sesame Street fan, but we all grew up on it, so I guess there's nostalgia. But dude, it's a $15 T-shirt, dog.
I went to fucking 16th Street Mall and got this shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can go.
Uniqlo.
Dude, there's
It's
Uniqlo
literally
store.
Oh, that's what you said. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's where I got all my stuff.
I didn't know
I didn't buy it online. Yeah,
when I went, I never saw the plush toys or anything like that. They said it was
do
online.
They didn't do it the first
okay.
time, I don't believe.
Oh,
I believe
fuck.
this is the first time they're doing, with this collab, they're doing the plush toys.
Okay, because I asked and they said it was all online, but then I heard it maybe brought them in later, but I don't know.
So
Cool.
So we actually have a Uniqlo right in our backyard, and again, to have a semi-hyped shirt, I don't care how hyped it is or isn't. It's more hyped than a fucking regular no-brand V-neck shirt that I'm going to wear, so I guess it's cool to wear it. I think it's cool.
And you know me, that's what I always rock. I always rock some shit. Like, I don't care if it's $2, you know what I mean? Like, if it looks tight to me, I'll wear the shit. I don't care.
$15, I love Cause. I love what he does, and this is something I can actually afford from Cause, so I'm in.
You think there'd be a line over there or anything?
I don't know. I don't think there was
There
this
was
last time.
when I went in, there were plenty of shirts for everyone.
You can just walk in and get whatever you want. So
how long ago did that other one drop when you guys got those?
I think it's been
5 months,
6 months. I would say I'd say 5 months
this
ago.
Summer,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure. So I we should go over there. We'll do it for either after the podcast one day, or we'll do it for the vlog. Yeah. So
that'd be
so
tight.
JJ, that's what I got, man. What do you got over there for some hype fashion?
So yeah, I'm like pulling out Bape because the biggest reason I'm doing this is because not only Bape is doing.
Dallas loves Bape.
Yeah,
that's
Bape's the fucking worst.
That's why I do it, because you bring up everything, and the one thing you really don't bring up is Bape. So it's like, I have to use it.
Maybe some people in our audience like Bape. Don't let your Bape bias control our content,
I know there's
Dallas.
plenty of why don't we just do older guys who like Bape who aren't like fucking 14 or 15.
Who, your boy Kais? Omar? Who? Blake Linder?
He's not older.
Blazendary?
He's not older. He said older guys. He said there's got to be some older guys that like
Kais is
Bape.
old.
Dude,
I know Kais is old, but Blake Linder and
at Notorious,
fucking
I've seen guys who probably have kids who have consigned Bape and stuff. Like I had a conversation with a dude who's probably in his mid-20s who was like talking about going to the Bape store and fucking it was either Japan or China. I don't know which
Probably
one,
Japan.
but
Japan. Okay.
Still a battery charging briefly.
Yes.
Just there's one charging right now. Okay, cool.
All right.
I just want to make sure once that other one.
Yes.
So I
starts to
just
shit the bed.
want to be clear. So are we starting a Bape segment with JJ? Because that's what I feel like right now.
Bapesters with JJ.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's just
Bapesters,
fashion
man.
because I also have BBC, so don't worry.
All right, just
Okay.
give us the stuff. JJ.
Okay, so this November 3rd, so it's coming up at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Bape and Adidas is going to be releasing their snowboarding collab. So that has a bunch of gear.
Dallas, how are you not interested in this? You're a snowboarding guy, Dallas. I think he curated this news specifically for you. He was probably like, saw this, was like, man, Dallas is really going to like this. Just trying to do a good job. And you're just coming in here ripping the guy. Just shitting. Just unbelievable. Just shitting on him.
JJ, because you can put whip topping on shit and it's still shit. At the end of the day, that's
Dallas
how I
is a
feel.
snowboarding collab.
But
Fuck outta
they
here.
have
And it's not
they
even
have
that loud.
snowboarding boots that are fucking dope as hell. They have Boost in them. Like, come on.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I like Boost, but go. Okay.
Snowboarding boosts?
Let me.
Snowboarding boosts?
And it
Snow
has
Boost.
the new Bape line first kind of design, which is kind of like a minimal design.
Yeah, I see it.
compared
I'm looking
to their
at it. It looks-
ABC camo
Which
Yeah.
I like
and
minimal.
everything. So, and it has the reflective three stripes from Adidas.
The pink
see that.
one.
Those are
Did you guys
dope.
see the pink one?
The pink,
Dude. Or is it just the sun reflecting off and it makes it look pink?
I think it's the sun.
just the reflection.
That photo is fire.
Because I'm not seeing any pink, man. But
Yeah,
I do-
it's none
I'm
of
looking
it's
at the whole
pink.
collection now. I do like how minimalistic. Like I like that hoodie. It has the Trefoil logo on the left side, and then it has the Bape head on the right side, very very small. And then it's kind of like this. It's like a textured. I don't know what those lines are in there or whatnot. I don't know if that's new to Bape, but I like that hoodie. The minimalistic is cool. The 3M stripe is always good, but I don't know, man.
So these are great hoodies. They're waterproof with 2 layers of fabric and everything.
Any
And they're
Gore-Tex?
dropping. What?
Is it Gore-Tex or?
No, it's not
Okay.
Gore-Tex.
No
It's their
Gore-Tex.
own thing. By the way, heads up.
It's their own thing.
Gore-Tex hoodie large is selling for $500. So you are like on the fucking edge right now.
November 11th,
Dang.
Veterans Day.
Doing some Aerosmith.
Yep.
Living
But
on the edge.
I
to
like it.
continue more, they're dropping snowboarding boots, which would be great for you. Just saying.
Would you call them snowboard boost instead of boots? Snowboard boost,
that? Yeah,
Okay.
I like that. They also, because it's snowboarding
and it's black boost, dog.
Yeah,
That's
too.
fire. Is
Yeah,
this
that
their
too.
first black boost snowboard boot? Because I know Teddy has last year's high end model, and it's got the white boost. Is this the first black
It's
boost?
got to be.
I
Fire.
have to say, yeah. And because of snowboarding, most snowboarders also skate, so they also made a skate shoe for all the skaters out there.
Did I see that?
And then, yeah, it's just a snow coat, actually 2 different ones in a black and white colorway. Then we have a snow pants. These are all reflective. And then we just have a hoodie. And then, yeah, we just have 2 types of hoodies with the different camos and everything. And, yeah.
And that's all 3M. So if you hit the light on it, all that little weird like lines in there all light up as well, right?
Dude,
Those
that
are
hoodie
3M?
kind of has my attention. The tech hoodie. Reason
I
being,
like the hoodie.
I love how minimalistic it is. I love that it's 3M. But dude, it's $130. That's a great for a
I feel like
Bape.
it's a great
for a
price
Bape
for
product.
a
Bape
collab,
Adidas collab
especially.
hoodie. That's a great price. $600 for the snowboarding jacket. Snowboarding jackets are expensive anyway.
Right.
But
I
so I don't
spent
think
3
that's a
on
bad
mine.
price either. But the fact that I already have a dope snowboarding jacket, you know what I mean? I have a
Mm.
dope Burton one. I don't really need that.
And that hoodie is multi-layer. You said dual layer water resistant?
It's I don't know what it means by it's 10K over 10K.
So that's a waterproofing
Yeah.
type,
So yeah,
of
it's
measurement.
10K
Yeah.
over 10K. It's
Okay.
like dual layered, and to just kind of protect yourself from the weather,
Elements, bud.
essentially. Yeah,
Elements.
elements. That's the word.
buddy. Okay. Well, here's the deal. I still don't like Bape. I'd like to see that in hand before I cop. So maybe our boy TTF, because he's got interest, maybe he can go ahead and cop. I can go ahead and check it out. Maybe
When
I
does
can-
that drop?
Maybe
When
I
does
can
the
be
hoodie
sold.
drop? That's what I'm interested in. The hoodie.
So I already checked already. Everything is dropping the 3rd. But if you go
Okay.
on Adidas, they have a couple of the things. They have the skateboarding shoe. They have the
But they all say
snow
coming
pants.
soon.
They have, yeah, it's coming soon. It's
So November
3rd.
3rd. They go live? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'll go live in all the Bape stores. So the one in LA, the one in New York.
Looks like,
things
yeah,
like that.
8
And-
a.m. our time, mountain time.
Yep. So
Whatever that is to you
That's when
fools.
to
That's
get
7 a.m. West Coast, 10 a.m. East Coast.
And
shit's sick, dude.
to be honest, it's really dope because I know Supreme. Watching a bunch of the hype piece on YouTube and everything, they wear a bunch of the Supreme North Face stuff, especially when they go snowboarding or skiing or anything related to snow. So I feel like this is dope for Adidas to like maybe try to bring back the hype a little bit, maybe
on their side.
Not so much in the shoes, but just in their clothing and stuff like that, and just kind of like give it that mixture so you don't always have to go to Supreme or stuff like that.
What do you guys think of them doing the minimalistic? Do you think that was beneficial, or do you think that's a deterrent and it's not going to sell as much? Do you think it would be because people, especially on the mountain, dude, when it's Supreme, you want people to know it's Supreme. You want it to be loud and proud that it's a North Face Supreme collab or whatever. You know what I mean? And some of that shit is loud. Do you feel like the minimalistic approach here is going to do better for them or worse?
That's tough, man. Because if I bring my bias into it, I might actually give this a try.
That's what I'm saying. For guys like us, I think the minimalistic look is the reason we would cop.
It opens up, maybe some of those old heads. I'll call myself an old head,
right?
That doesn't like like the shark or whatever. I don't even know what that logo is, like on the shorts that we've talked about in the past. It's just too much for me, man. It's not me. It's not what I do. But for this, it's starting to open up maybe new avenues for them versus traditional, because I think you already have those guys. My argument is you already have those people that have always bought vape in the past. So now you're kind of opening up the doors to people who may have not given it a second look to people like us. So my argument says I think they're opening up. They're going in a new direction on this line at least, and getting more people bought into that weren't before.
Speaking of shorts, as far as across the crotch and shit, dude, my Fat 5 shorts will be here today.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure they're coming today.
Fire.
I'm really excited. And I got another pair on the way, dude.
Really?
A goat pair. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Goat pair.
I'm ready to see these.
The homie hit me back.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, dude, we just worked out. He gave me a deal on the other pair.
So you bought the 2 pairs of shorts.
Yeah.
We're good to go. You're thinking everything's okay. He hit you up?
Well, I saw on his gram that he had a couple pairs of large and a couple different pairs of shorts. I hit him up and asked what he had left in a large. He told me he shot me a discount price, and I copped them. So still expensive as fuck. Don't get me wrong. Sure. But now I got 3.
Yeah, 3 pairs. On the way.
And I think they should. When I checked the tracking, I probably shipped them all at the same time, so they should all be here today.
Really?
Actually, JJ, will you run up to the front real quick and just see if the postman came, or let them know? Because before the podcast is over, if those shorts get delivered here, I would like to open them today on the podcast. Yeah, so can you just let Myra know just to bring any packages that come from the post office back here to the glass house? Thank you, my man. Because I would love to open them for you guys so you guys can take a look at them today, because I'm geeked to get those shorts, man. I talked about them on the last podcast. If you missed that episode, we showed what they look like, showed pictures. Yeah. They're fucking flames.
They're fire, yeah. So, I'm looking forward to seeing the quality, because these are all hand stitched. These are all hand done by the dude.
Yep.
I'm anxious to see.
Geeked off of that. Did you have any? Do you have anything more in the streetwear?
I think streetwear, I'm good, man.
Oh, I just got the look at that. I just got the raffle thing from Finish Line.
I did too. You know what? I'm a little worried about this though, because I did the raffle for the platinum tint 11s.
Yeah.
I didn't go pick them up.
Why are you worried?
Does that hurt my raffle chances on this one? Because I didn't go through with it. I didn't fulfill the raffle that I won, quote unquote. Does that mess up?
I don't think that penalizes you, man.
You don't think if it
does
chances?
in their system, that's stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it shouldn't penalize you for that.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, long story short, I didn't have any cops this weekend. Did you?
Yeah. I show...
Aside from the shorts?
No, well, I did cop. You saw my most recent cop. It's going to drop on the sneaker review, those new Me Adidas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, those are fire.
Dude.
Yeah. Not the Thin Mint, not the
Stolen
Andes.
from the homie Frankie, but just basically just bit his design.
Let's call Frank K.
But they're ill, dude. They're super ill. Anything more on streetwear before we wrap that up?
I have one more thing.
What else you got?
That's okay. So this October 30th. Okay, actually, let me start this off a little bit better. Are you guys big Star Wars fans, or
no.
do you guys?
No,
I don't know anything about it. Never seen it. Never seen one Star Wars.
I think it's cool, but for me, I don't know all the stories. I don't really care to look at all that stuff. But I value the characters. I value all the ideas and the concepts. It's great. just not for me.
It's all about how you grow up, right? My parents were not big sci-fi people. My parents were not big Star Wars people. My parents were not into sci-fi and Star Wars and Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. We weren't into that as a family. So me growing up, I never got into that and explored that by myself. I never played RPGs. I was never a role-playing game guy. That's RPGs for any of you non-gamers. Yeah. I was never a role-playing game guy. I mean, maybe the closest I got, I played a little Grand Theft Auto in high school and college. You know what I mean? That can be considered role-playing, but that was about it. And, that's because I was out there trying to bang strippers and steal cars and shoot people. You know what I mean? Like
you didn't play GoldenEye on 64?
Yeah, I guess so, but it was more head-to-head with friends. It wasn't like I wasn't so much going through all the missions and shit. Maybe a little bit, but the most I probably got was like the initial Tomb Raider on regular PlayStation. The first PlayStation that dropped, regular Tomb Raider. That was kind of the closest I got to those. I was always sports, man. It was always competition heavy, sports heavy. Yeah. So that's where we differ. You're not a big sports guy, JJ. You don't know a ton about sports. Right. You're probably like, damn, how the fuck does he know all this shit sometimes? Like, you've told me that's just because it's been my life. I consume it all. I'm not claiming to be an expert by any means, but I'm claiming I know.
I don't like the magical, mystical fantasy worlds. That's not for me, and I think that's why
I don't hate on people that do though.
Yeah, me either. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I tried to go to Lord of the Rings. It was a great movie. The cinematography, I think is what they call it, is fucking epic.
The makeup,
put my shit right to sleep in the theater. Embarrassed all my friends.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You fell asleep in that shit?
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't even like fantasy stuff. And I would put The Matrix in that, like fantasy, magical shit. Like, dude, I don't know if it was the second Matrix, but the one that had the albino villains in them, fell asleep in the fucking
I was
theater.
just going to say I fell asleep during the first Matrix, and that's all I've ever seen,
I fell asleep. So, JJ,
never went back and watched it, never seen any of that.
It's great stuff. I love the ideas. I know who Yoda is. I know all these characters, and I know kind of what they stand for and what they've done. But movie-wise, it's just not for me. That's all. But I value it. Go on.
I didn't know that. I would peg you more as a Star Wars guy. I didn't know that about you. I know you probably knew that about me. I don't know shit about sci-fi. I'm an idiot when it comes to sci-fi. But what happened? What's the deal?
Okay, so I guess
you got two non-Star Wars fans. So go ahead and give us all this.
This is going to be great news.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Maybe the listeners.
Okay, so
I need to go get a monster.
Have you guys? Okay, so I think I'm gonna answer my own question here. Have you guys seen the Han Solo movie?
No.
Okay.
No. But I see your excitement right now. You're fumbling over words because you're so fucking pumped.
He's excited.
Dude, I'm ready for this. Hit me.
It's like a kid on Christmas.
God damn, I want some donuts and some monsters real quick.
Okay, so BBC, otherwise known as Billionaires Boys Club, is collabing with Star Wars, and they're this October 30th at 12 Eastern time, and they'll be dropping a couple of pieces that are related to the last Han Solo movie. So out to all the Star Wars fans out there and everything, this is for you guys. So they're dropping a hoodie with the Millennial Falcon on the back, and then the Billionaires Boys Club on the front with the 3M reflective, just like the Bape gear.
Okay.
Then they're dropping a couple Chewbacca shirts, and then Han Solo's shirts, and they're all reflective with the 3M, and they'll also be dropping the Lucky Dice in the collection with it'll have the original symbols on it, plus the BBC Spaceman's logo. And
I do see that.
Apologize, I can't remember what the meaning behind the dice was, but they're dropping two different hoodies, one with the Millennial Falcon, one with Solo, and then they also have the Solo bomber jacket with the Millennial motors on it, which is really dope. And then just the kind of glitched out Chewbacca on just a white and black tee, and the Never Tell Me the Odds shirt, and it's nothing huge.
It sounds pretty huge to me. JJ, it's huge to you. This is huge.
Well, the biggest reason it's huge to me because I grew up watching Star Wars, and I totally get the whole grew up in different homes and stuff like that. But that shit came out when you guys were kids, and
So here's what I would say.
Some guys have been when the first the newest, not the newest, but when they, I think it was 3 years ago or something like that, when they just dropped their the most recent one and everything. like people were waiting like fucking 30 years for that shit to drop and everything. And it was like huge.
To echo your point, so me running a clothing brand that was not successful because it was more of a hobby. I just wanted to make cool stuff that I wanted to wear. Why this is so big and why this is so of epic proportions is because it resonates with people on multiple occasions, right? You have a big prime fashion company, BBC, right, who is doing some great things with Pharrell, the collabs that they're doing with the shoes, right? They've been huge in the streetwear culture. But now you have something that resonates with you, childhood, adulthood, with your family, things, watching movies. Who doesn't watch movies? This is huge, man. Star Wars, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm not the biggest fan. But you've got one of probably the top grossing movie series of all time collabing with a huge hype company right now. I think it's big. It's big, and for me, just not a big Star Wars fan. That's cool. But, man, I like the idea. I like the concepts. The shirts aren't for me because I don't know anything. If somebody hits me up and says, hey, man, I love your shirt, man, Star Wars, and then they start fucking trying to relate to me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Same thing. I'm not even a great movie guy in general. You know me. I'm bad at just seeing movies. I'm too behind. They just came out. You've already seen them. Yeah. I'm just not a good movie guy in general. Having ADD as a kid, bouncing around, jumping around. You couldn't sit me still long enough to watch movies, let alone a 2.5, 3.5 hour Star Wars mega marathon. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't.
It's not for me.
I'm like, where are the fucking Micro Machines? Where are the Ninja Turtles at? Where are the action figure? I'm bouncing. You know what I mean? I'm running. I'm outside. I'm playing. I just wasn't that kid, man. And I was just always moving, always running. If it didn't have nonstop, constant action, something that I could follow easily as a kid, I was not a smart kid. I was probably a dumbass because I'd never listened. So I didn't learn anything. I was just constantly talking, constantly spewing bullshit, constantly running around. Yeah. It took me a long time to realize, you got to listen to learn. You know what I mean? Like, you do. And I think that's a lot of people, people in the YouTube comments, people that listen to this shit. I mean, you have to listen to learn in life. You know what I mean? That's a life lesson that if you haven't learned it by now, learn it, because you're never going to be able to do research. You're never going to be able to expand your horizons unless you listen. I'm just so far gone. I feel so far gone on the Star Wars stuff, and I feel just not interested. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not going to force myself to be interested in some shit that have I sat down and tried to watch the beginning, Yeah. And I just can't. I can't do it, man.
My mom likes to buy me cheap clothing for Christmas. Stuff that I will fucking never wear. Like, I love comics. I still love all that shit. But she's buying me like Superman T-shirts and stuff that she gets off the clearance rack, dog, at Walmart.
What do you do with it?
And thinking that she's doing a good thing. So usually I just wear them at night, when I go to bed or whatever. Or, if it's in summertime, I ain't wearing shit. I wear a pair of boxers and that's it. Catch me outside.
Use it to wash your car.
Yeah, for sure. So she bought me maybe last year or the year before, and I like it because it's this heather gray textured shirt, and I like it because the shirt is one of those thin shirts, right? The 70-30 cotton poly mix, whatever it is. Or 60-40. So they're nice to wear. But it has not the Millennial Falcon, but it has, I don't know what kind of ship it's on there, but I know it's Star Wars, and it says Rebel on it. I don't even know what that fucking means. But I wear it.
So you just rock that?
Yeah. But I would never wear it in person or out there, because somebody would ask me and they'd be like, hey, may the force be with you, and I'm trying to fucking fight these guys. Like, I don't know what that shit means. So you can't be wearing stuff that you don't know, because when you wear this stuff, you're saying, hey, I know this, I like this is me. So for me, that's why I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to wear it. But I don't even know what the Rebel means. What does that even mean, JJ?
The Rebels are the good guys, like the Jedis, essentially.
Why would you call the Rebels the good guys? That has a negative connotation.
Because they are, okay.
Am I right?
It's...
Yeah. If you say Rebels,
they're rebelling against the Empire.
Oh. And we're trying to take down the Empire, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I can't disagree there. Are we good on Streetwear? Are we good on Star Wars? We gotta move this along, man. Let's jump into football. We got so much stuff to cover from the NFL this weekend, dude. Yeah. We got to cover the DraftKings situation. We got to cover. Let me just hit on. Actually, do some breaking news that just broke.
I just got it. Actually.
You got it too. Okay, so we'll talk about it in a minute. Let's jump. Well, go ahead.
Well, we didn't know it was coming, but is it a surprise? I would say.
I'm gonna get to it in a fucking minute. Damn it. No, let me.
This is a surprise.
I already have the DraftKings shit pulled up, so let me jump into there, man. The DraftKings tournament from the weekend. I think there was the homie Pena, we should have called him and told him to withdraw his entry from that other contest, because I saw it was him and this dude Matt Gonzo. He was in there. So those two were the only. I think they battled it out for like the little 2-person prize. I'm pretty sure
it didn't get shut down.
No, because I think it auto resizes under 20.
Okay.
So what I need is nobody to enter that other contest, because it will not disappear unless no one enters it 2 weeks in a row. It's going to continue to auto run. So please enter the one that is for $90. The contest is for $90. Right. Enter that one weekly. Don't enter the other one. So I think it might still run along with the other one, which is kind of sucks, but nonetheless. I just said I had the there it is. I think I just said I had the shit pulled up and I lost it. All right. Pat Nasty, man. Pat Nasty 24. He actually just joined the group this week. I got a notification that he just joined the group. 1 shot, 1 kill. What's the deal? What up, Pat?
Who's this guy?
I see you, Pat. No, I see you. He's got the weed plant as his did you see that as his thumbnail?
Yeah.
Pat Nasty, he put up 179. Couldn't best Vitzer. He put up 189, which I think was the record in this league. Yeah. Vitzer threw up 189 last week. Pat Nasty comes back this week, takes down the tourney with 179.72 points. Goes big this week. Dow Palantonio down in the basement. TTF down in the basement. Me and you pretty much the same. 114.84 to 114.
You had me by 0.84, dog.
0.84. I mean, basically, do we have the same lineup? I don't know, but it looks like it. We both shit the bed. We're down in 13 and 14th. Just a bunch of doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hey, the Mueller took 2 weeks off. He's finally back this week. Way fucking down in the basement at 110. Great job, Mueller. Give me my 32 on the side bet.
All right, let's jump into the wagers. So at the Halloween party this weekend, we had some wagers, some side wagers. Dallas was getting a little crazy on the Red Stag. Mueller was getting a little crazy on the Red Stag and the fucking Rice Krispie treats, as was I.
Stagged out.
Draped up and stagged out. Just crushing it with the Red Stag. So here's what happened. These fools got in a heated debate over DraftKings. First, started out with Mueller. Mueller's been roasting Dallas because he's always down in the basement. He hasn't won a contest. This has been well documented across our social networks as well. And Dallas is like, dude, what the fuck? You hadn't even been in the contest the past 2 weeks. So they start getting a little argument. And he's like, yeah, I haven't been roasting you the past 2 weeks because I ain't been in. So Dallas is like, well, get in. He said, I'm going to outplace you this week. So they get in this heated debate about who's going to outplace who. Then it turns into, first it was whoever finishes higher is going to win $30, right? So you took that down. Yeah. Mueller owes you $30.
Correct.
Then it was if Mueller takes down the contest this week. If he finishes first, he gets to come and sit in on the podcast with us today or Thursday. That didn't happen, so Mueller is not coming in on the podcast. Even though his Buccaneers, we have quite a bit of conversation on those fools. Jeez, we could be talking about the Bucs. Mueller's a big Bucs fan, but anyway, that's how it went down. Mueller finished worse than you with a 17. He finished second to last.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't even know why he woke up that morning.
That was a lot of shit talking. Who did he put in here? Who didn't even have his did he have Winston like I did?
No, I think he had Dalton.
Yeah, he did have Dalton. Dalton did better. He just, you know what lacked on his lineup here? Just big hitters. Yeah. He didn't have anyone that went big. I didn't really either, other than James Conner, and that's what killed me. Conner went off for 41, but I had nobody else that went big. I didn't have another motherfucker that scored over 15.
Huh.
Oh, I had Kareem Hunt at 19. Everyone else scored under 15, including my quarterback, Jameis Winston, at 12. That was awful.
That's kind of how mine was. I had Trubisky, who's been doing really well.
Dude, he killed it though, didn't he?
He had 22, so he still had the fire emoji. But dude, Joe Mixon killed it for me. Almost 32 out of that guy. Then I had Kerryon Johnson at 15, Robert Woods at 12. So then I just had some basic stuff. I did have Cohen at 18, but dude, what killed me? Ravens D at -4.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
I was completely wrong on that. I thought the Ravens D was going to have a great day against Cam Newton. Newton had the great day.
Cam Newton
33, 34,
and McCaffrey shredded.
Yep.
Shredded
so
the Baltimore.
I was completely wrong. I told you guys to sit Cam Newton. If you sat Cam Newton and listened to my advice, you were probably very pissed at me over the weekend. But I did hit on Chris Carson, however. I said that was a must-start running back. He tore it up.
He did.
For the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I think he's put 17, 18 points. That's a great you're going to win some, you're going to lose some.
He's the guy there.
Win some, lose some. I was way off on Cam Newton. I was on
And
Carson.
I think you were Winston heavy as well this week.
I went with Winston. No, I wasn't heavy on Winston.
For like cash games, I forget what it was.
I did go Winston. In my DraftKings.
Yes.
I didn't tell people to go with Winston, but I went Winston heavy personally and got shredded.
4 picks.
But it actually helped me out in the heaters. So congrats to Pat Nasty as we move on from DraftKings this week. Thank you to everybody for participating. That was the biggest prize I think we've had so far. So he took that. They got that. He took down that tournament and got himself $81 off his $5 entry. Thank you for joining the podcast. Thank you for joining the league. Pat Nasty coming in 1 shot, 1 kill. What was I going to say? Oh, heaters. Let's move along to heaters, man. We both went 3-0. By far the best week we've had in heaters so far. And I don't want to get too cocky because it hasn't been going that great.
Yeah.
You should definitely not be getting cocky at all.
I'm not.
But this is going to push you to 13-11. That's going to put you 2 games over 500. You were 10-11 coming in. You went 3-0. You hit on Washington -1, the Saints +1, and the Packers +10, who we both had there.
Hell yeah.
Again, Packers +10. Then I had the Cardinals at a pick'em. That they came back. That looked like a miracle. That was the Pooper Bowl. I told you that was going to be a Pooper Bowl.
It was a Pooper Bowl.
I didn't know if I wanted to take it.
Yeah.
I just thought, screw it. I'll take the home team at home.
Dude,
pick 'em.
I watched Red Zone the whole day yesterday. Even the Red Zone fool, I don't remember his name. He was actually asking.
It's Scott Hansen, by the way. Unless you have DirecTV, it's Andrew Siciliano.
Yeah. Scott Hansen was actually asking the 49ers and the Cardinals to give us something because at the end, there was no TDs.
He's like, we want to include you in the touchdown
there was
montage.
no touchdowns till like late. And he's like, Scott Hansen called the fools out, man. I thought it was great.
Yeah, so that was a shitter game, but Cardinals get the cover there, and then the Bucks get a backdoor cover. Dude, I was this close to going 1-2.
Yeah.
Literally, if I don't have the Cardinals come back at the end of the game to beat the Niners, and I don't have Ryan Fitzmagic come in and bring the Bucks all the way back
Holy
just
shit.
to lose.
That was awesome.
I'm 1-2. It was not. I was not able to kick my feet up on Sunday. I was not enjoying the games and just like, I got some easy blowout wins. Yours, Saints, was pretty easy. Packers were always within there. They never really let it get too out of hand.
No.
And then you had Washington -1. They were looking good all day too. No struggle for you. No stress. Super easy.
Yep.
For me, a little bit more stress, but both of us go 3-0. That improves me. That puts me at, let's see. That puts me at 14-9-1. I was 11-9-1 coming in.
That's not bad. That's nice.
14-9-1. Huge jump for me. 3-0 weekend if you took my picks this weekend. So, and then we're 14-9-1.
Yeah.
Profitable. I'm profitable on the season.
You take my picks, you're not stressed this week. You take franchise picks, you still won, but you were stressed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
Heaters, you were sweating.
So there we go. That's the heaters. That's kind of how that wrapped up. Both 3-0, man. Good job. Good job by you.
It was a good week.
fellas.
Yeah, it was a good week.
What let's jump into some more NFL stuff here. I guess we can just stay with the that Buccaneers game and Fitzpatrick there.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We talking about quarterback controversy? We talking about does Jameis Winston just think he's better than he is? Yeah. 4 picks?
I think there's something to that. So here's what I see, and I like Winston actually. I think he's great. I watched him in his college days. He's had some struggles with the law. He's had some struggles with winning big games, but he is really forcing plays. I mean, so to me, that's an ego-driven thing. So I do believe he thinks he's better than what he is. Man, he is just forcing plays, forcing passes, trying to force goodness.
Well, did you hear him in the press conference? He's like, I believe I can make all the throws.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No.
It's clear you can't make all the throws.
Dude, these throws, this was some of the shittiest throws I've seen. God, I can't even tell you how shitty some of these throws were. I'm like, this fool's heading out of bounds. He could have went 2 more steps out of bounds and not thrown the ball. He fucking forced the ball in.
He doesn't know what he doesn't know what live to fight another down means. You know what I mean? He gets sacked. He goes back. He loses 10 yards on a sack. Mm-hmm. He turns around the next play and just tries to get it all back in one play.
Yep.
He has no patience. Everything he wants to be a huge play or a huge chunk play. You're not going to do that in the NFL. You take what you can get. It's hard to win in the NFL. I know the Rams are making it look easy, but it's hard to win in the NFL.
Let's make a comparison. Did you watch last night's Saints game?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at Breeze.
Dude.
He only ended with 9 points, but this is the exact argument that we're talking about, right? So you had Winston trying to force things, trying to have these big plays, trying to make up for his shit interceptions that he's done previous play. Look at what Breeze did. Yes, he is breaking records this year, completions. Man, he is still on target to have records in the future. But he's smart. Okay, and I don't know if that's experience. I don't know what it is, but this fool did not go for any big plays last night. Breeze ends up getting 9 points.
You see how many times they brought Taysom Hill in? You see, at one point, they had 3 quarterbacks in the game. They had Bridgewater, Taysom Hill, and Drew Brees on the field at one time.
That. Yeah.
Sean Payton's pulling out all the stops over there.
Yeah, so what I would say is, I think Winston has to grow up a little bit. I think he has to kind of understand the magnitude. I think he's not a one-man wrecking show. Well, he was in a negative way this past week, getting pulled out of the fucking game after 4 picks. But I think he just needs to take a little playbook out of the Breeze.
Take a little something out of the Breeze playbook.
There you go. Is that what I was trying to say?
Yeah.
So I mean that's yin and yang there.
Yeah.
And Breeze knows what to do, knows how to win a game, but also knows not how to lose a game.
I don't think Jameis Winston is as bad. Okay, let's be real. He's bad. He's not good, but I think it's also the coaching. I mean, Pat Mahomes could be just as bad with the wild gunslinging style that he has.
Yeah.
You can't sit here and say Jameis doesn't have weapons. I don't know if it's Tyreek Hill and the guys that, Kareem Hunt, the guys that Pat Mahomes has, but he's still got Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
He's still got Mike Evans over there. He's still got pretty good tight end.
Yeah. O.J. Howard.
O-line's middle of the road.
Sure.
Chiefs O-line's probably better.
Yeah.
But they're putting Pat Mahomes in better positions to win. They're tailoring the game plan a little better. Yeah. Jameis Winston, I don't know what they're doing with that game plan, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Bad defense, dude.
Do you see Dirk Cutter going and sitting with Jameis like Andy Reid is with Pat Mahomes?
No, not at all. And I don't know if there's repercussions for what Jameis is doing. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like there's any fear, which is a bad thing for a quarterback. If a quarterback has no fear and he's just throwing the ball all over the field, throwing into double coverage, throwing underneath, not seeing linebackers crossing right in front of his face, what are you looking at?
Are you seeing the team also rally around more of Fitzmagic versus Winston?
It looked like it yesterday.
And I say that, like, look at the heaters that he went in at the first part of the season.
Looked like it then, but then he started kind of falling off the cliff a little bit. He kind of started losing them a little bit.
We have to put the fear in Winston, I think. That's my opinion. We have to put it in there. Fitzmagic starts this next game. That's what I think. It should be that way.
Other NFL headlines, Packer game, Montgomery bringing it out, not giving Rodgers a chance there at the end. Did you hear about that? Did you see that?
Fumbles the ball. End? Yep.
Dude, Rodgers was pissed.
Was he?
Did you see the press conference?
I didn't watch the press conference.
He was super pissed. Mike McCarthy was pissed. I guess Ty Montgomery was specifically told, do not bring it out. Kneel it. You have 12,
really?
Dude. You have the best fucking quarterback in the league, arguably. One of the best. You want to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
I thought initially Montgomery was just trying to make a play. I was like, maybe he disobeyed. I was reading an article and I was like, maybe he disobeyed the coaches because he thought he could make a play.
Yeah, maybe he saw a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
That wasn't even it. I guess he was upset about a prior possession where they pulled him out or something happened on a prior possession and he was deliberately just going against coach's orders.
He was
pissed.
retaliating?
Yeah.
No,
that's what I see.
I didn't hear that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's cut today. I know.
Wow.
Some people are saying he's too good. But I don't really think he is. I think you have Aaron Jones back healthy. You still have Jamal Williams. He's not really playing receiver anymore. He's playing primarily a running back.
Ty Montgomery's not Ty Montgomery that he was 3 years ago. Let's be real.
No.
He's not.
So, that was a selfish play by him, not bringing it out. Doesn't even give them a chance against the Rams. I mean, they had the Rams on the ropes. The defense was playing incredible yesterday. Yeah. That defense had Jared Goff seeing ghosts, looking in different directions. He had him rattled a little bit.
Clay Matthews was looking really good yesterday. Yep. Yeah, for sure.
The whole D in general, you could tell they got some guys back in the secondary. Yeah. You could tell Rodgers had his full complement of wide receivers back. We said this is the easiest pick of the game, or the pick of the week. Yeah. Lock of the week. Packers plus 10, plus 9.5, wherever you had them. Easiest of the week. Now, I will say there was an option there where we could have lost the game. If Todd Gurley runs that in at the end, we lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So it wasn't as easy as far as
that would have put us right on it because that would have
put us on the cusp. But some people would have lost depending on what you bought.
What they got locked in because we got locked in at 10, but we also agreed that 9.5 would be.
There was a lot of people that had it at 9.5. So that would have been an issue there. Todd Gurley goes down inside the 5-yard line.
Let's talk about that,
man. Smart, heady, just a great heads-up play, unselfish play. Yeah. We've seen this so many times before where people score too early, and then you leave the opposing team too much time and you get beat. Even if there are multiple scores down, like we've seen before. We're like, whatever. It's a minute 50 left. They're down by 2 possessions. They're down 10 points. Yeah. Somehow they go down there, they kick a field goal, they get the onside, they go down, score a touchdown and win. Yeah. And it's like, damn, how the fuck did that happen? How could that have been prevented? by not scoring the touchdown before. You know what I mean?
To me, it was the ultimate respect thing. It was the ultimate respect to number 12. Saying, hey, we ain't going to let that guy have the ball again.
Exactly.
Like, we're not fucking playing that,
Yeah.
okay? We already got one, with Montgomery fumbling the ball. And it was the ultimate respect thing of just team camaraderie, like not blasting out another team. Like, had he scored that touchdown, that would have given Rodgers another opportunity, or the Packers and Rodgers another opportunity. But it also showed respect that, hey, I respect you guys. We're not going to blow you out. But I think it was that teeter-totter effect where respect on both sides.
Yep. Totally agree there. Smart play by Gurley. Super heads up play. Trade talks, trade deadlines coming down. How do you feel on DT? Think he's gonna be traded?
DT, I think will be 50-50 is where I think it's going to be.
I think that's what he said too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he is. I do believe I saw that. Yeah, he said that as well.
Yep.
I think.
I agree. I
think by the end of the week, I think he could be gone. I really do. I think it's probably more yes than no.
Who's the leader in the clubhouse? Who do you think to be the leader, the team that's going to go after him, that needs a wide receiver, needs help at the position, or just they have money to spend, they have cap space? Who do you think's the leader in the clubhouse to get Demaryius Thomas from the Broncos?
God, I want to say Philly, but Philly needs that. They need that running back help like now. Smallwood's not the guy. Clement's not the guy. They're so all.
I've heard it's the Patriots, man. I've heard that. I don't know. I'm dead serious.
Really?
Yeah. Saw headlines yesterday that it was the Patriots are talking to the Broncos about trading for Demaryius Thomas. This fits their moniker. Think about it. The Patriots always go for the aging, old veteran players when teams feel like they have nothing left.
Remember when they took Brandon? What was his name from us?
From the
Broncos. Yeah, the Patriots took him.
Brandon. I'm having a struggle.
Now. Yeah,
Brandon Marshall?
No. Go ahead.
He went to the Jets. So yeah, that fits what they do. They take older, aging, veteran players and they make them great again. Look, I mean, they got Josh Gordon over there. How awesome would that receiving core be if you had Demaryius Thomas on one side, you got Josh Gordon on one side, you got Julian Edelman in the slot, dude. Kevin Hogan finds himself parked on the pine there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and then you get Gronk back like at full strength. Oh, my God.
Is he playing tonight, by the way?
Haven't.
Still 50-50? Yeah. I put someone else in because I don't trust him. So I went and put Chris Herndon from the Jets. That was a nice little pickup there, and he caught a tutty. So
yeah.
He got me
I know Sony Michel is out.
Yep.
Correct. Tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gronk's game time decision. You guys already know that because you're probably listening to this after the game is over. So we expect the Patriots fully to blow out the Giants tonight. But that's the leader in the clubhouse on the trade talks that's what I've heard as far as offering the most serious compensation for DT. I don't know what they're offering yet. Let's see what else. Jalen Ramsey crying. Did you hear that interview after the game?
No, I didn't.
Jaguars, Jalen Ramsey.
No.
Just super frustrated.
The ultimate equalizer in London?
Just basically, why are you guys asking me this? You ask me this every week. You ask what we're going to do to get better. How are we going to fix it? Blah, 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 blah. And the Jaguars are continuing to lose, whether it's stateside, whether it's over in London, continuing to lose. I didn't see the game, so I can't tell you if they played a great game or not. I think it was, 18-24 was the final, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what the Eagles did or didn't do. I didn't really pay attention to the game. I just saw the post-game presser. And
I was
honestly,
still trying to recover from the stag.
Were you? I bet, dude. I was nervous that you weren't even going to get in the DraftKings league this week.
Out.
I was like, oh, shit. He's not going to wake up. He's not going to get his lineup in by 11.
Totally.
But no, Jalen Ramsey, he was just bitching, dude. He was just bitching. He was crying. He was just being a crybaby. Yeah. You guys ask me this every week, and no, I don't know, man. We're going to do something to fix it, but I don't know what we're going to do, and And it's like, you brought this upon yourself, dog. You talked all off season. You talked all this shit. Mm-hmm. You talked all this trash.
You got the magazine article.
Yeah, you got the articles. You did all these interviews, and now you don't want to talk.
Got to reap what you sow, man.
You know the team's no good, and you guys are shitting your pants, and now you don't want to talk to the media. You don't want to give anyone quotes. You don't want to say anything now. Give me a break. You want to get frustrated at them for coming and trying to interview you?
I remember when I made my bed and had to sleep in it.
Right. Exactly. So super annoying there. Guy kind of annoys me.
With
elite
that
level
game,
talent, but
that game is Wentz back. 3 TDs. Having some consistency.
No. It's the Jaguars. Maybe he might be back. I'm not going to say based off that game he's back. I need more. Well, didn't they just lose the week before?
They did, but Wentz still had a decent game. I think he went from a really good game to a okay game, and then this game he really performed really well. But again, you're measured against a fallen secondary, a fallen fucking defense,
right?
A top 2 defense in the league before the season started to fucking eating their balls.
Let's go with the breaking news here, man. You said you just got the notification as well.
I did.
Cleveland Browns fire Hugh Jackson as a third-year coach. Did you see it coming? How do you feel on it? Where do you come out?
I thought it was a possibility. The Browns have, if we look back at the Browns season, they have had a lot of opportunities to win games and have lost in overtime, have lost by a field goal. Multiple times, multiple occasions. We look back at the Pittsburgh game. I think that's the biggest one. I mean, they literally could have beat Pittsburgh hand over fist. That game, they didn't. So I think a lot of that is alluded to, a botched kick. But I think there are coaching decisions that have impacted some of those losses for the Browns. Mm-hmm. So I'm not terribly surprised. But I think the Browns are better than what they've looked this year. And I think they've had a lot of close, almost wins. And, if you do have a new leader at the helm, some new coaching that maybe makes different choices than what was made, maybe you do have a couple more. Maybe you at least have at least 2 arguable wins over what they have now. That's what I would say. What do you say?
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. It's tough because I actually
you're really invested. You watch too much. You watch too much HBO special.
I really liked Hugh Jackson. I really thought it was a tough way to start the season, losing his mother and then his brother. Was it?
Yeah.
I think he lost his mother and his brother within a few weeks. I mean, that's tough, dude. It's that's a tough thing for anyone to go through in regular life, let alone when you're a head coach and in this business, because nobody feels sorry for you. The team on the other side doesn't feel sorry for you. The fan base doesn't feel sorry for you if you're not producing wins. Wins is the only thing that matters in sports, and especially in the NFL when that gap is so close and there's all the teams are so close and there's so much parity and there's so few games. Mm-hmm. You don't have a lot of opportunities to get it turned around.
Right.
It's not like baseball or basketball where there's so many chances and you play so many games. So for a guy that finished 3-36-1, 3 wins, 36 losses and a tie, you can't argue with the Browns' decision there to fire him. But something about me does feel bad for Hugh Jackson. I feel like they were finally getting on the right track. The defense was getting built up. The Denzel Ward draft pick has really helped him this year. You got Baker Mayfield. You got some pieces in place.
Yeah.
And it just feels, I want to say it's too soon, but it's really not too soon when you're 3-36. But for some reason, it feels like the team is right there.
Yeah.
Ready to turn the corner.
And I think you're right with that. But yeah, you have to measure it. You have to measure it in numbers, man. I work in an industry that is, hey, not what you did for me yesterday, last year, last month. It's what can you do for me right now and in the future.
Yep.
And I don't think they didn't feel as strong on that. But the thing I would say about Hugh is, man, it was portrayed. Hard Knocks made it really look like he had a lot of control of the team, of the players. We look at that Todd Hale incident that we saw directly on
dealing with Todd Haley.
Todd Haley on Hard Knocks. Man, he looked like he had control. He looked like he had the respect. I think he did, but it's a tough loss. It's a tough loss for the Browns. I like Hugh Jackson and what I know about him as a coach, as a person. It's tough. It's tough to see.
Anything more specifically you want to hit on from this week's NFL before we kind of wrap up here? Any specific stories, any other headlines? Those are kind of the headlines that jumped out to me. Right. I do want to talk about the Broncos a little bit yesterday. Going into Arrowhead, I didn't expect them to win. I thought they put up a good fight. I thought early in the game they came out, they scored a quick touchdown. You're going to need touchdowns to beat the Chiefs. Field goals aren't going to do it. We still held them under 30 points. Did we hold them under 30 again? What was the final? I don't even remember now.
The final.
No, 30. It was right at 30, right? 30-23. That's right.
Yep, 30-23.
So, I don't even know. I mean, I didn't expect them to win the game. I expected them to put up a fight, which they did. It was competitive. It wasn't like that they got their doors blown off. Defense still held the Chiefs down to 30 points. I think we're the only team to hold them 30 or under twice. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're not playing. Just too many mistakes. Yeah. Just too many little mistakes, too many little things. The offensive line was absolutely awful. Probably their worst performance I've seen of the year. Not only from protection standpoint of Case Keenum, he was getting sacked all over the place, but penalties, dude.
Yeah.
Did you see how many penalties the offensive line committed in the first half? It was like 8 penalties for 78 yards or some shit in the first half. It was bad, dude.
Was our guy Bowles again?
Oh, it was all over. It was Bowles. It was McGovern. It was everybody, dude. It was all over the place. The offensive line was penalized so much yesterday, and they were having trouble. And this isn't even an elite pass rush.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're not even facing elite pass rushers on the other side of the ball. So that was super frustrating to me. Every time a flag went up, we got big runs called back. Phillip Lindsay played out of his mind, tore it up. I thought Devontae Booker had a great game. I said last week, he's been looking really good. He's been improving. I don't feel like we missed Royce Freeman one bit. I think Booker and Lindsay handled it fine. The run game was the real bright spot yesterday for the Broncos.
I'm a little concerned with Sanders. I don't know wrist or hand. With that little collision after that catch, then he was out, which kind of hurt me in fantasy as well.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
But you know what? I'm not Chiefs heavy. I see a lot of value in the Chiefs. I see a lot of versatility. They've made me a lot of money this year. We look at how they just constantly switch up their game. Okay, so last week it was hunt heavy, right, with Kareem. Over 130 yards, I believe, two tutties, 3 tutties maybe, and receiving tutties. This week, they switch it up yet again. Sure, Mahomes has something to do with this, but now it's your boy Sammy Watkins. Yeah. In there at 170 yards.
You shut down Tyreek Hill. Yeah. You neutralized Kareem Hunt for the most part. Yeah. I mean,
but then you look at the weapons and versatility of Andy Reid and the schemes that he has set up there, and he continues to do no matter where he's at. They won it. Hands down, hand over fist. We did lose it with a lot of those offensive penalties is what I would say. But
waited too long, dude. Waited too long to score.
They find ways.
Yep. That's what good teams do.
They're deep.
I still don't think they I think they probably lose in the first round of the postseason. But well, they're probably going to have a first round bye.
Right.
So they'll play in the divisional round. But that's just me going with trends. They haven't been good in the postseason.
Right.
I realize this, Pat Mahomes hasn't been there. But it's just historically, Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, since he's been there, they don't win postseason games.
Right.
They go out in the first round every year.
Yep.
So all the Chiefs fans that are talking about Super Bowl, let's get a postseason win.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more Twitter and social media posts about we're going to the Super Bowl than I've ever seen for a team in my life that hasn't won a postseason game in the last decade. You know what I mean?
Bold, yeah.
Let's win a postseason game, fellas.
Totally.
I understand you're excited. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be excited too.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a lot of shit talked to me, and I'm like, we've won 3 Super Bowls since you guys have even won a playoff game. What are we talking about here?
You look deeper into historical for sure.
Don't try to come at me head to head. If you want to be excited about your team, be excited. That's great. Yeah. Don't come try to compare them to fucking one of the best franchises in NFL history, especially since Pat Bolin's been the owner in the Denver Broncos. You know what I mean? So don't try to come in here and bounce that shit on my court, okay? Yeah. Stay over there in your own lane, win a playoff game,
right?
Then win a Super Bowl, and then we can have a little bit of a convo. But right now, you're just a good team in the regular season. There's still a ton of football to be played. We haven't got into cold weather yet. Yeah. It's just absurd. Calm the fuck down. You know what I mean? Like, I get you're excited. I get excited too.
Are these your friends or these Twitter trolls?
Both.
You need some new ones.
It's both.
Yeah. When do you get you some new friends, guy?
What do you mean? I don't need new friends. What are you talking about? But no, it's both. You just have to. They're emotional. They're not logical.
Totally.
I'm presenting facts, not presenting emotion. Anyway, I think that kind of wraps it up. I'm cool on everything here. Not a ton going on in the NBA over the weekend. Not a ton of shit there. Nothing really else to hit on. Nah. Anything more for you? Anything more to wrap up with NFL? Any of the other stuff?
No. Think I'm
cool.
good.
Cool, man. I think we're tight on this one. Most underrated podcast, as always. Thank you guys for supporting all the stuff that we do here, man. Supporting, like I said, we got some affiliate sponsorship stuff coming up. We got Ted coming in here soon. Make sure you get those questions over to mostunderrated@gmail.com. Mostunderratedpodcast@gmail.com. Sorry. Join the DraftKings League. It's in the link of the descriptions on the YouTube channel. But most of all, man, thank you guys for supporting. I think we're going to be up on Spotify soon. Yep. So we have had a few people asking about Spotify. We'll be up on there. The podcast will be on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, fucking YouTube, everywhere, all that stuff. I know people use CastBox and a bunch of other little things. Those should come through automatically through the RSS feed through iTunes. Right. If you're having trouble finding it, let me know. We can try to help you out. But other than that, man, as always, thank you guys, and we will see you fools on Thursday. No, we'll see you fools on Friday.